it feels between disasters. It comes and goes. The life of dreams is moving faster, and no one knows the constant fear of what comes after. We'll never know. It's weighing me down. Got my feet on the ground. Let's hide away from the light and run away through the night. Let's run away. We're falling hard to find the answer. With this life we live, be all that matters. The life of dreams is moving faster, and no one knows the constant fear of what comes after. And we'll never know. It's weighing me down. Got my feet on the ground. Let's hide away from the light and run away through the night. Let's run away.
And I ain't stopping, no I ain't stopping, homie regardless, And I ain't stopping, no I ain't stopping, I'm just getting started, let's go. My skin is pale, but I'm a black sheep, riding through the city, Satan in the backseat. Hey yo, that's me, I run it like a track meet, a rap fiend, I set the bar high like an athlete. Step in the booth and Zach gon' drop that 808, cause the vibe is dope and the beat is cracking, now it's getting laced. I'm sharp as a razor blade, I can blow your mind like JFK. I do what I want, you ain't gonna box me in like David Blaine. We get it poppin', homie, day and night. Got the party jumping, about to break the ice. Stay up on my grind, that's my way of life. I got tunnel vision, I'ma chase that ray of light. Stay up on my grind, that's my way of life. I got tunnel vision, I'ma chase that ray of light. I stay fly without a travel visa. I stay high, smoking on that gasolina. And when a Filipina tells me Malakita, I put two and two together like a ballerina. This music is more than a paycheck, no money in the bank cause I make sense. I put in work till I'm brain dead. I spit a fast zone like a break next, and the crowd goes wild. AM, mayhem. We get it poppin', homie, day and night. Got the party jumping, about to break the ice. Stay up on my grind, that's my way of life. I got tunnel vision, I'ma chase that ray of light. Stay up on my grind, that's my way of life. I got tunnel vision, I'ma chase that ray of light.
Let me stay with you. In us, can you? Just one night. I know about you, your life. But tell me 'cause we still have time. I can't stop looking at you, but do you feel the same, don't you? I think of you every moment. I think of you every moment. I can't stop looking at you, but do you feel the same, don't you? I think of you every moment. There's nobody else. Where you look, where you touch, where you feel, yeah. Where you look, where you touch, where you feel, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Can we talk about me and you? Can we talk about the truth? I wanna know, no, I wanna know. Can we talk about me and you? Can we talk about me and you? Can we talk about the truth? I wanna know, no, I wanna know. Can we talk about me and you?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Mr. Bepic, and I'm joining the booth with Galgan. This is the last day of the Melon Patch League, Galgan. Day 2 of the playoffs. How you feeling?
I'm feeling fantastic. It feels like it went by in a flash, but not without some amazing competition the entire way. We've made it to this top 6 situation. Plenty of well-deserving teams in this spot, but my goodness, we are going to have a crazy finish to this bracket no matter how it shakes out.
Now, our first matchup in this lower quarterfinals, which is where we're starting, will be a best-of-3 between Team Meteor and Empire Esports, but we'll talk about them a little later. We got to recap what went down yesterday. Galgan, and you and I are both casting the caster clash, but there was some intense action. I mean, several best-of-5s, like one best-of-7. You want to go through just a little bit of what transpired in that bracket?
Yeah, of course. So obviously we kicked things off with one of those teams we're about to see, Empire, making it through in that play-in game against Lights Out. Close call there in the best-of-3, and various results that some people could consider surprising, but for the most part, things shaking out expectedly, I would say. Rain Esports, though, talk about breaking expectations, though, making their run all the way through uppers to that upper finals and taking out Untamed Esports in the process, not only in that upper semifinals just by virtue of the win alone, but doing it in 5 games, which not a whole lot of people predicted Untamed to drop a series in that upper semi.
Right. I am very excited to be calling that Rain Short Circuit matchup later on tonight, because Short Circuit was my pick to come in second, just behind Untamed, who was stuffed into that lower bracket by Rain, who are streaking right now. That ought to be a very, very fun one. But we also talk about another #1 seed out of their group that got down. Team Meteor and Escape Velocity. We're talking about 2, actually. Team Meteor coming up in just a bit. They were down by Rain, of course, that hot team yesterday. But Escape Velocity beaten by Empire, who we're going to see in just a bit. That was a sweep. Empire took that game in 3, or took that set in 3, and then went to 7 against Short Circuit. They got to be looking pretty good right now, Galgan.
Yeah, you gotta like their chances, but I just have to touch on, now that you bring it up, Escape Velocity and some of these other teams that were just so unfortunately found their way into that lower round 1, because as brutal as this bracket has been, that round, best of 1, I mean, there's no way that you can expect, the crazy things not to happen in a best of 1 situation. And again, that's Noxum seemingly getting, an upset in a sense over Escape Velocity in 1 game. That's all it took. Obviously, Valkyrie Array was able to dispose of them in lower round 2, but it's just been so chaotic. I think it's great, honestly, because a lot of people thought they had a good idea of where this bracket would shake out. For the most part, I mean, I know you, being the prophet that you are, came fairly close to getting almost everything right, but it's pretty impossible to call. These teams can show up and show out at any possible stage of this tournament, and it all comes down to the day of.
No, I'm right there with you. After everything shook out the way it did yesterday, looked at my bracket, and I was honestly shocked at how close I was, because I was expecting to be completely wrong with all those best of 1s and best of 3s making things interesting. But in my eyes, there weren't too many upsets. I didn't think Escape Velocity was the strongest of 1 seeds out of their group. I think they were maybe the weakest of those 4. So them going down isn't too surprising, but still, to be dropped that early after winning your group it's a little bit of a shocker to most people. At Untamed Esports, down as they were the #1 overall seed headed into this bracket. I believe that can get corrected by the statisticians, but now they got to play Valkyrie Array in a best of 3. That is going to be a heated matchup over on the B stream.
Absolutely, and I think it's about that time to focus up on this first match that we have here for the A stream, because we can let everybody know a little behind the scenes in case you weren't aware. Over on Seasonal Shootout, these 2 teams, Empire Esports and Team Meteor, just played each other. They just finished up their series. The result of that series, a 3-2 win in favor of Empire Esports. Not only that, but a Game 5 overtime as well. And of course, yeah, I have to call you out again for saying that would go to Game 5 overtime, because of course it did. But they're basically playing an extended series, like you said in the pre-show. They've got a little bit of a tactical timeout before they head over to one of the most crucial best of 3s that they'll ever play for the MPL.
Well, it wasn't a 5-minute overtime. You can't make me look that smart, Gallagher. I didn't say it would go to an overtime, but I said it would go 5 minutes. It didn't hold up this stream, but it did not, thankfully. So it's like a best of 7 essentially for them. It's 3-2 in the series right now. We still could go all 7 games. I think if you don't think about it too hard, it's like a best of 7. But Empire Esports, they were one of my favorites to make a run in this bracket. I didn't have them. I did have them dropping down to the lower bracket. Just not facing Team Meteor, who I thought would also look pretty good. But Empire, that Mizu and Mazu combination, Galgan, I am a super fan of.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I've been keen to Empire this whole time, and it's been great to see them develop over the course of the MPL. But Team Meteor specifically, I mean, during the regular season, I wasn't on for too many of the matches with Meteor and their group, but I've seen what they're capable of. They're obviously well within their right to take this series. Best of 3, anything can happen, and they then would move forward, advance to play the winner of Untamed and Valkyrie Array, who is playing on the B stream. So I have to ask, Bepik, we're gonna tackle this question right here, right now, before we get this match started. We've got our top 6, right? Short Circuit and Rain in the upper side, Empire, Meteor, Untamed, Valkyrie Array. Right here, right now, all cards on the table. Let's make a pick for the winner of this thing, shall we?
All right. Well, I originally, in those picks we all made before the playoffs, had Untamed Esports going through the upper bracket and taking it over Short Circuit. They were downed, and you know, I'm not one to usually change his pick despite not everything going my way and a team having to make a run through the lowers brackets. And I'm not going to tonight either. I think Untamed is going to run the ringer and take it to Short Circuit in that grand finals. I think it's still going to be that same 1 and 2 I initially predicted, but we will see what happens. That best of 3 is dangerous, Galgan. Who are you thinking?
It's very dangerous indeed, and I don't necessarily want to be labeled a turncoat with this pick, because there are plenty of teams like Untamed and Empire and Short Circuit even that I've been such a fan of this entire time, but I'm focusing up on that 4th team from the upper semis that I wasn't quite following too closely, and they made me pay for it. So I do think that Rain, whether or not they drop this upper final against Short Circuit, I'm gonna back them to take this. I think they're riding that wave of momentum. It's a massive victory in the upper semis against Untamed. You can't deny that they played fantastic yesterday, and if they keep that up today, it's hard to see them stopping.
I don't know what to expect for them, because it's one thing to be hot on one day across a 2-day bracket and you just come into the next one and you're not as hot, but we will see. We have seen magical weekend runs before and all landscapes of the Rocket League competitive scene, but if they do drop that winners finals against Short Circuit, they will have to play a team coming off of a win, and a very good team probably coming off of a win. I think all 4 of the lower quarter finalists that we've got right now probably could, if they're feeling right, take anyone down in a best of 7. So Rain's got a tough road ahead of them despite being in that top 2 at the moment, Galgan, but I respect the pick.
Yeah, this is not going to be easy for any of these teams, and I think that's what makes this event so great, is that it's going to come down to the wire no matter how you shake it. I'm really looking forward to that best of 9 grand final, because it's not often a format that you see in tournaments. Oftentimes you'll get the 1 game advantage in like a best of 7, or you might get a best of 7 with a bracket reset, something like that. The best of 9 has its own, you know, it's garnered its own respect in the scene. I've seen it time and time again more recently now to try and really push these players to their limits. But speaking of pushing them to their limits, again, you're staring down the barrel of a best of 9. The cleanest that any team makes it out, they still have to play, what is that, 8 games, I believe, if they win in a sweep through uppers, which I don't see happening, and they get to the grand finals with a game advantage and sweep that as well. Just the fact that the lowest amount of games of high-level Rocket League you have to play is 8, but it's obviously going to be so much more than that. You've got to think how much that's going to wear on these players.
I mean, if a lower quarterfinals team makes it to that grand finals, they're playing upwards of in the teens in terms of games. So fatigue is going to be a big part of this bracket tonight, and the players are going to have to figure out whether it's taking breaks in between each series or just sticking in training. However you function as a player, you better know how to get the most out of yourself and out of your teammates, because once you make it to that grand finals, anything goes. We could have a full 8 games. We could have just 4. Either way, it's going to be a long series at the highest of levels of pressure. And that is the final series of the Melon Patch League Season 1. Of course, go check out that teaser on the MPL League Twitter. But yeah, again, the resilience hopefully is going to be shown out of all teams tonight.
Absolutely. You can only hope for nothing but the best in full series all the way through, and this best of 3 to kick things off is going to be intense. It's going to get started real soon. Obviously, these teams just went to 5 against each other. We're just waiting for players to get into the lobby and readied up and all that, and we'll be bringing you this action shortly. But I want to take a quick look back at what these teams did to get here all the way back towards the group stage. You know, you look at Team Meteor, specifically in Group A, they come out on top. Their group mates, Team Revenge, Rain Esports, Lights Out, and 1000 Dreams. And it's interesting, of course, to see Rain in there because they do end up making this playoff lock by a 2-game differential, but Team Meteor, solid performance there, 4-0 in their groups, and obviously Empire 2-2 in Group D, and playing in that play-in match against Lights Out. They made the run all the way here, a quick knock to lowers, but an opportunity to get their revenge, and their run starts now against Meteor.
2 very different paths to get to this point. Empire took the harder route. Team Meteor had a bit of an easier one. It helps when you do win your group outright, but someone's tournament is going to end tonight after a best of 3, and I'm hard struck to make a prediction here, Galgan. I honestly don't know. I have Empire in my predictions bracket, making that run to 3rd place, but Team Meteor I've been a big fan of all season long. Big E is one of my favorite players to watch, and if he has his way in this series, it could be over quick. But Mizu and Mazo, that combination, incredible to watch as always. I'm not even going to make a prediction. Let's just watch some incredible Rocket League.
I'm so ready for this. The fact that they went to Game 5 overtime in the series they played right before this just is the icing on the cake. And now, with the first kickoff underway, Championship Sunday has officially kicked off here on the mainstream for MPL Season number 1, and a best of 3 to kick things off. We're going to be high-flying into the action as quick as possible.
You know it's important because we got that fancy overlay on the stream. I love it. It's beautiful, and it might get lit up right here. No, big save from Big E. Mizu trying to pressure early on. The entirety of Empire trying to pressure early on. I like that pass over to the side, but it is cut out by Team Meteor. They'll be afforded a chance for one of their own. A pass infield. Peaceful takes under his wing, but can't put a shot on. Eventful first minute, but scoreboard still empty.
And a big musty here as well to the back wall to try and open up space, but it's blocked in the midfield by Mizu there. Infield passing coming through for Meteor as they try to utilize that space given to them. Peaceful gets a touch here, and Tide just trying to hold on to possession, but Meteor has a good position here to take control. Very airy play right now. The ball lobbing up a lot. That one finds its way to the box, but no shot rings through. And now Crave with a big carry, trying to get the flip reset. Saves it, but doesn't use it in time. And it's cleared out back again to the mid.
Peaceful pressuring. You got to think about right now what advantage the winner of this last best of 5 for these 2 teams over on Seasonal Shootout has in terms of the mental game. Because both sides essentially in a game 6 right now, a series between them. For those that did just join us, we've already seen a couple of stages of adjustments. Galgan and I weren't privy to what those were and how the series exactly shook out on the Seasonal Shootout stream, but it does feel like a bit of a game 1. That's the first. Crave, a great shot from the side, forcing it through 2.
Love the pressure here as well. Moving off the sidewall. It can be tough as well to take those kind of shots because ideally you want to be riding up the sidewall, not using a whole lot of boost and then jump at the last moment. But well done by Crave there to get off the wall. Make sure you get a meaningful touch on it. Now Mazo being tested on the other side is perhaps a quick equalizer, but no, Tide can't find the touch. That's going to be one that they're going to want back. Big E looking for it though. Bottom corner trying to stuff it, bully it in. Peaceful goes for it as well. And Tide forced to pull off for now. Meteor knocking on the door of the equalizer, but still searching.
And they are. Another pass goes a bit wayward, just a little bit too out in front of recipient, intended recipient. Mizu does take over. Now setting up Crave for an attack, but Peaceful wins that challenge over to Big E, going for the back wall. Mazu has it covered. Great touch out into the corner, out of danger, but Team Meteor still persisting at the halfway point. Game 1 in this best of 3, and Mizu slowing things down into the blue end. I like that. Allowing Mazo to move forward, but they couldn't read that ball perfectly enough for their liking. Leads to a shot. It's saved by Mazo. Still that 1-0 lead. Empire guarding it very, very nicely.
Ooh, close test there, and the follow-up isn't sent either. It's so close here, though. You said it feels like Meteor, again, they're breaking into the middle of the field well, finding these passes from the sidewalls, but you almost want them to be even more creative than that, which is tough because midfield pressure is everything you could ask for from an offense, but they're not finding the shots on target. There's obviously more to be asked of their pushes here, as Big E can't quite find the clear, but they have plenty of time here, Team Meteor, to collect themselves. Less than 2 to go, though, to find the equalizer. Still only down by 1 as Mazo goes for an early challenge. Crave does block it, though, and it's right out to Mizu in the corner, so Empire doing a really good job of possession control here, saving the flip down as Mizu, but Tide takes it away, and we get this possession battle back and forth out of the corner. Crave gets a demo, though, to try and set up, but unfortunately a little bit too strong of a bump there on the teammate, and it looks like Team Meteor will get their breakout that they've been searching for.
It's incredible how much this game feels like a game one after these two just played a best of 5, as it's so slow and calculated. Passes are methodical and not the frenetic pace you would expect after a game 5 overtime that these two just faced. That's a great attempt from Peaceful, trying to liven up the pace just a bit, but sent backwards. Now Big E is going to slow play it out of his own end. Under a minute left to play, and Empire just guarding that midfield line quite well. They have to play defense for small stretches of time occasionally, but they have controlled possession nicely throughout this game 1, the best of 3, and still they're just not flying around the pitch, Galgan. It is a very it's a chess match that we're seeing right now.
It's incredibly tactical, and I need some more of this deceptive speed up from Team Meteor. They've had limited success with it, haven't found the goal just yet, but there's Big E all of a sudden to the crossbar, and that's what I'm talking about. Take those fast shots, test the Empire defense, don't let them set their feet, or their wheels rather, here in the zone, as Crave jumps up for this one, about 15 to go, does get a flip reset to keep it up towards the corner. Tide, though, will collect it. Early flick, over to Peaceful, 1, 2, 3, Big E not there in time. Lane is shut down by Mazo. Crave will get a hold of this one after the double-up attempt from Meteor to get contact with it. Time expires. Mizu going to play this slow and slam it right to the ground, and already Empire on series point here.
Wow, that was a very interesting first game. I would keep talking about, we only saw 4 shots from Empire Esports. That's a bit of a surprising number because it felt like they controlled possession very nicely, I suppose, playing a good bit of it through corners and the sides of the field. 8 from Team Meteor, 6 of those being saved. So Empire doing it on both ends of the field in this first game. And now game 2, I'm interested to see if they do come out swinging hard. Team Meteor upping that pace, trying to strike early.
Yeah, you talk about upping the pace. That's exactly what I need to see here from Team Meteor, because they had little chances where they were able to try and bully these shots towards the deep box or take a clean one that just catches Empire slightly out of the defensive rotation. It hasn't happened often, but Team Meteor can seriously do well by themselves to trying to generate that pressure. Taking these one-off attempts where the shots aren't coming in as fast isn't going to get past Crave, Mizu, and Mazo. They've got to be more persistent about it. Obviously, that comes with committing more resources and being as calculated as possible to get back on the counterattack, but they've got to find the answers here. Not sure how else I can sugarcoat it. We're already on series point.
That's what these best of 3s will do to you. Tide knows it. The entirety of Team Meteor knows it. That's why I was setting up a good look here. Big E now. They slow things down, go up into the air over Mazo. Craves back, gets the save out into the corner. Now Peaceful moves forward. We'll pop it up into that same corner, but no one's there for the follow-up. Now Mazo out to Crave, and there's the clearance that Empire would have liked. They don't suffer from that first bit of possession from Team Meteor. Now it is right back to really how game 1 went, where Empire controlled possession nicely, kept it in that blue end for a decent amount of time, and defended that 1-goal lead that they eventually got.
But here's a chance for Tide out of the corner, trying to take a quick turn in on it, but can't get it to center up in front of those defenders. Big E with a huge challenge, though, and Peaceful racing forward as well. So now we see Team Meteor getting to the ball really quickly here. Backboard, and people aren't really up super quick for that, so Peaceful will come from the middle of the field. Big E trying to tap down for a shot from Tide, but no. Meteor has to pull off here, only temporarily. Got a good hold starting to develop here, though, as 1 minute eclipses in game number 2, and Big E with another pre-jump challenge here. They continue to hold on to this pressure. They're flipping the script here on offense, but they still got to find the shots on target, as every single attempt they take is getting blocked out in the early goings and away from those dangerous scoring areas. Big E tries to center up out of the corner again, but no shot, and it looks like Empire have finally gotten the relief they have been seeking.
And even with losing some aggressive challenges from Team Meteor, Empire still finding those clearances, getting boost, getting back in position. They're playing a spotless defensive rotation at the moment. That has kept this game scoreless through 2. Now they look to strike back, though, backing off. Something Empire has not been afraid to do. I mean, even when they have been controlling the midfield line well, when it's time to back off, they know it. And there really have been very, very few openings for Team Meteor to exploit. Big reason why that one goal from Empire was enough in the first game. So Team Meteor, despite their good pushes, just have not found the big enough chink in the armor on that Empire Esports back line.
And it's the wildest thing, too, because you brought this up at the end of game number 1, but as we get closer to the halfway mark, Empire still have not registered a shot on goal at all during game number 2, which is just, it's crazy. It speaks to that possession control, but Empire, they're just playing so, like, such a calculated style here. That does register as the first shot from Mizu, but regardless, it's crazy. Peaceful coming back the other way, though, trying to put a test. The challenge goes wide, and again, possession control is the name of the game. Empire, even though they're not finding shots on target, they're keeping the ball between each other and continually taking it away from Meteor.
Maybe that's something they learned in the last series, though that was a bit of a mistake. Double commit leading to a good shot. Mazo, though, does make the save, and now will be called upon again. 33 boost in the tank. They don't use any of it to make the clear. Solid control, because now they can use it as the last man to defend this. Incoming shot. That's a great challenge. Empire Esports popping it out wide and out of the hands of Team Meteor momentarily. Empire must have figured out what worked, and it's slow gameplay to take down Team Meteor and just hitting on transitions like this. Tie to miss. That net's open, and Empire on the board first.
Oh, it stings in a way here for Team Meteor, because again, this matchup with the shots and saves, you don't expect it to be one that Empire is dominating, but they just simply are. It seems like Meteor just don't have the gusto there on offense to look for those solid opportunities. They're being shut down every single time they go. The crazy saves are one thing as well, and there's already 5 saves on the side of Empire here, spread among all 3 players, so they're certainly putting in the work defensively. It's not easy for Meteor, but you've got to give them a chance here. They've got to find these opportunities. Time is ticking, and again, they're already down by 1, but this one to the backboard. Mazo, though, is eloquent in the air to take that one away.
Again, it's all about that defensive control. Mazo kept the ball so close to his body on that pop-up to the back wall. Led to a clearance, regain boost, and such. 60 seconds left. Team Meteor's tournament lives on the line in this game 2, and they have yet to register a goal in this best of 3. It could be here. Big E taking up the sidewall. One gone. Crave, though, has the back wall covered. Down to Peaceful. They'll pop it over Mazo for a teammate to come forward, but instead it's just Mizu. Missing, actually. Crave attempted the strong half volley, but instead Team Meteor continuing this offensive. Mazo out to the side, and Team Meteor maintaining possession, but still no quality looks.
It's so deceptive to me, it feels like, because Empire is so low and close to their zone on defense, but they're up. They get the clears, and they work it very well in transition here. An unfortunate touch from Tide works out to a beautiful pass, and Crave taps that one home. 30 seconds to go. Empire looking for the insurance.
This is absurd. Empire have played a very great game, just solely focused on defense. Their transitions, pretty solid. Their offense, decent at keeping the ball out of the hands of Team Meteor momentarily. But when it comes to that backline play, Empire looked exquisite. Now Team Meteor need 2 right here, and it just does not look like it's coming. That shot will not find the back of the net. Big save again. Crave getting in between the ball and the net, and that's it. The number 1 seeded team out of Group A and Team Meteor has been knocked out in lower quarters. An incredible incredible performance from Empire Esports.
That's absolutely crazy. Have you ever seen more of a brick wall built in front of the net than Empire during those two games? Because, again, circling back to that point, so strong on defense to the point that it's almost deceptive because they're staying low deep in the box. You think, all right, if I take a fast enough shot, surely I'll be able to find this under the crossbar. And lo and behold, somebody's up to send a crazy pinch back the other way. Like, there was just nothing there for Meteor. They wanted the second, the third shot on the follow-up. They couldn't find it. It was never given to them.
In 2 games, Empire Esports registered 8 shots total. In game 2, Team Meteor registered 9 shots total. That is such a lopsided category of stats in favor of Team Meteor, and they were held scoreless. That was a perfect sweep. In this best of 3, Empire put 3 in the back of Team Meteor's net. That was all they needed. I'm astounded. Now I'm very curious. I'm going to have to keep an eye on the Melon Patch League stream as we move. Well, we aren't moving the lower semis ourselves, Gaugen, but Empire Esports playing there in just a bit. And I want to see if they come out a lot faster, like I kind of know them to be a quick team, or if they stick with this slow, methodical strategy.
Yeah, and like you said, in those lower semifinals, Empire advancing to that best of 5. They'll be playing against the winner of Untamed Esports and Valkyrie Array. Make sure you're tuned into the B stream as well, and you can probably catch the end of that series too, and the lower semifinal when it kicks off. But from 6 teams, we are now down to 5, and soon to be 4. We're going to take a look at the other 2 teams in the upper side of things. The upper finals, a best of 7 between Short Circuit Gaming and Rain Esports. After a quick break, we'll be bringing you the upper bracket finals. Don't go anywhere.
Let's spark a light and see where it leads. is do or die. Feel it in my veins tonight. Emotional suicide. You know it's an eye for eye. I didn't wanna walk the plank. No, but the Mariona, it came like the thunder. I was on my way to going under. Swimming in the pain, yeah, I was covered in a tidal wave, But I'm a fighter. Try to take me down, I'm going higher. Baby, you've been playing with some fire. You've been playing with fire. One day you will see what you made of me. Found my inner peace. You are peace in the dead of night. In the dead of night. Maybe when it's still dark, you know it's an eye for eye. Maybe when it's real in the dead of night. You can save your alibi. I already know you lied. Oh no, no, don't even try. Watch the flame in me ignite. You didn't wanna walk the plank. But the Mariona, it came. Baby, it was dark, it was hard to see. And that's when a spark lit inside of me. Oh, I was lost from reverie. One day you will see what you made of me, what's inside of me. One day you will see I found my inner peace. You are peace in the dead of night. In the dead of night. Baby, when it's still die, you know it's an eye for eye. Baby, when it's real line, in the dead of night. 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 And one day you will see what you made of me, what's inside of me. Oh, and one day you will see I found my inner beast, and you are Jubilees.
Whoa, I don't wanna take you home with me. I don't get what you're saying. all of these games you're playing. Can't bother reading your message, no I'm not here for your show, wasn't asking. But I've been putting what you're taking, I've been sipping cause I'm making. No regrets, I'm not assistant, just go and be what you were, I'm not missing you, yeah. I'm fucking down with all this shit you told me. Just regretting that I met you, damn you hold me down. All my fortune's just been wasted or gone. Oh, you made me feel alone. You thought there's a cure, I went and let you be. Now I know for sure I don't wanna take you home with me. I don't wanna take you home with me. I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, calling me. They'll be calling me royalty. Best to give me loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, calling me. They'll be calling me royalty.
Guess it's been a while since I fell in love. But after last time, don't wanna mess things up. You're so beautiful, and I can't deny. My heart is always with you, my head's always stuck in time. Love, let me go, 'cause I've been holding on for far too long. I've been fighting and keeping strong. Now you just gotta let me go. Time, wash away every feeling that can cause me pain. All these memories I can't escape, can you let them all wash away? Let it all wash away, 'cause I don't wanna feel the pain. Love, just let me go, 'cause I don't wanna feel the pain of holding on and keeping strong. So now I'm moving on. I don't wanna feel the same, so love, just let me go. Guess I didn't know it would end this way. One drink too much and I could see your face. Why did I let you go? How could I let you leave? Will I ever see you? And do you think of me? Love, let me go, 'cause I've been holding on for far too long. I've been fighting and keeping strong. Now you just gotta let me go. Time, wash away every feeling that can cause me pain. All these memories I can't escape, can you let them all wash away? Let it all wash away, 'cause I don't wanna feel the pain. Love, just let me go, 'cause I don't wanna feel the pain of holding dark. So now I'm moving on.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're moving up to the winners side of the bracket now. 2 undefeated teams throughout this MPL bracket. Still, myself, Epic, and Gaugen in the booth. Gaugen, we got the 2 undefeated teams in this bracket coming up.
Indeed we do. Short Circuit Gaming going up against Rain Esports, one of the teams that a lot of people expected to make it to the stage of the tournament, and the other one, a little bit of a dark horse, taking out some very strong names on their way to this upper final. But I could not be more excited for this best of 7. I think, something to be said about both these teams as well is just by making the upper finals here, obviously whoever makes it to the grand finals locks their spot in top 2, but both of these teams have locked top 3. That gets them in the prize pool, which rewards them for what they've done here. And I mean, no matter how this one shakes out, it's a fantastic result for both teams, but I'm looking for a showstopper here.
Exactly. They at least get $100 of that money donated by Prestige Esports, of course, the sponsor for this tournament, but they want the whole thing, Gaugen, and I think Rain Esports is going to come out swinging. They know the giant that is ahead of them, Short Circuit Gaming. I mean, I'm terrified of this team myself. I don't even have to play against them. They can clip on anyone and everyone. Aviator leading the charge race, one of those guys that if he's on, he is incredible to watch. And then, of course, Blaze, kind of overshadowed at times, but he's also one of those mechanical players that can step in and take over a lobby at times. So Rain, once they do get in here, it's tough to figure out who you need to take out when you're playing against Short Circuit.
Yeah, exactly. But I think, you just have to go back to the fact that Rain had such a high quality run just to make it here that you cannot count out these players in Kinley, Sato, Carved, or the sub base as well. I mean, just looking back at the teams they had to run into, the upper round 2, that's not an easy matchup for them to start with against Noxum, who were a team that were surprising a lot of people. They take Noxum down in 3 games out of a best of 3. They managed to take down Team Meteor, who we just saw, in 4 games. Fantastic result. And then obviously the elephant in the room that we keep bringing up here, that 5-game win in a best of 7 over Untamed, which you don't just get by a fluke. That's not something you don't beat Untamed in 5 because you just got lucky. You played that series well, and again, we talk about carrying that momentum from Saturday to today. If they can do that here against Short Circuit Gaming, I mean, it's almost a question of when, not if, because they will need it against Short Circuit, but I'm confident that if they do bring it, this can easily go the distance.
Empire showed us yesterday that it is very much possible to take Short Circuit to that ever-coveted 7 games for us casters and the neutral spectators, as it was a 7-game match up in the winners semis. So Rain probably took a look at that one to figure out what they had to do to beat Short Circuit Gaming. But talking about these 2 players, or these 2 teams rather, if one of these 2 teams is going to lose, and they will be taking on the winner of Untamed versus Empire, 2 strong squads down in lowers. And at the moment, Empire up 1 game over Untamed. We were talking and watching this series in the breakout again, and it looks like Empire has been keeping with that defensive strategy, and so far, it's working against Untamed.
Yeah, that's a best of 5 as well, though, and it's going to be interesting to see, if Meteor didn't have the answers for it. Untamed, not only do you favor them to try and find some of the answers, but they've got a little bit more time to do so. So they certainly are well within their right. Obviously, they're coming hot off of their win against Valkyrie Array, so should be a really interesting series the way that one shakes out, and obviously they're both fighting for at least a top 3 finish if they do make it to that matchup. But I'm just excited to get this one going. I know we're currently waiting on a couple of players here to join up, but we can take that trip down memory lane as well in the group stage here real quick with these teams. I mean, specifically Rain Esports, looking at them, they finished 2-2 in the groups. They actually have a negative goal differential. However, they lock their playoff spot instantly by 2 games over Lights Out. That's how close it was, and obviously Lights Out was fighting for their spot in this playoffs, but they ran into Empire really early. Short Circuit, though, Group B, you want to let everybody know how they did?
Oh, of course. They went 16-1 in games, Galgan. They were the overall #1 seed. I thought it was Untamed earlier on, but Short Circuit was the big brother in that relationship. They were probably the best team in groups. They had a forfeit go their way, but when they actually did play, they were pretty dominant, only dropping 1 game overall to Noxum, who we talked about earlier being a formidable foe in this bracket. So Short Circuit may have shown us in this playoff bracket why they were that #1 overall seed, making it to this point where most people had them getting to, and to lose it at this stage of the bracket would be an outcome I don't think they would like to see.
Yeah, and I know some people in chat, in the community, namely Gator as well, are a little sad that I keep bringing this up. But Short Circuit, I mean, when you look back at their group stage, you have to look at the fact they were placed in that group against the former Circuitry Gaming roster. And of course, that roster no longer being active means that they got the forfeit win there. But, I mean, it has to be said, that opened a door wide open here for Short Circuit to take that opportunity, push to the top of the group, and they delivered in every sense of the word in that area, just making sure that they were staying dominant in those matches. They obviously finished 16-1 in game differential, so, you know, credit has to be given where credit is due. And again, a lot of people picked Short Circuit here to make their stop through the upper side. They've gotten this far, but do Rain have it in them to stop it in their tracks right here and right now? We'll have to say.
We talked about the last series, predictions being very difficult to make credibly as these matches are so incredibly close, Galgan, but I've got to ask, it's a required fact in playoff brackets like these that casters have to ask each other who they have winning this. You said earlier on that Rain might drop down, but if they do, they make it to the grand finals. Do you see them dropping down here?
This is so tough, again, because I've been banking on this momentum. I'm saying just carry it from Saturday to Sunday, but the truth of the matter is it's a lot easier for us to say that in the booth than it is for the players to do that on the pitch, and Rain is arguably running into their toughest test of this bracket thus far in Short Circuit. So, gonna make a snap prediction here, and I'm gonna say that this series goes 6 games in favor of Short Circuit.
All right, I respect that. That, I think, would give enough credit to the Rain run that they have been on so far. They taking 2 games off of Short Circuit as #1 overall seed. I think I'm with you there. I think they do take this one down. I'll stick with you. For once, casters are going to agree. 6 games this series is going to go in favor of Short Circuit. We shall see in a bit once the players all take the pitch, but Rain, to take this series down, they're going to have to play some stout defense against a largely aerial attack. Short Circuit, they love their mechanics, and Rain going to have to find some way to shut that down.
Indeed, and we've got everybody in the lobby. I think it's about time to go, and it's a little scary just on the predictions alone because, you know, obviously I am grateful that you are sticking with me here for the Short Circuit in 6 prediction. However, historically, when the desk agrees with each other, never really turns out too well. But regardless of the outcome of the series, we're sure to get a banger. It is the upper bracket finals here of MPL Season 1, Short Circuit Gaming and Rain Esports about to get underway. Let's get right into it.
Here we go. First best of 7 of the day, not the brackets, as I was so close to saying. These teams got their fix of it yesterday, and they know what to expect here. A chance for Blaze, but he side flips. That could have been the opener, but Short Circuit Gaming empty-handed for now.
We're going to see a big change in this series as opposed to what we got in the previous one with Team Meteor and Empire, as these teams are racing for these opportunities down the middle of the field. Close positioning here as well for Short Circuit on the clear, but they do work as that battery to get it all the way. Aviator to the corner, and Blaze not quick enough on the draw, so here goes Kinley back the other way. Sato is down there at the bottom, but it's Kinley taking the shot. Sato can't get the finish. It's down to Carve now as the third, trying to keep this pressure alive, and does get a nice touch to the corner here, so the push continues for Rain out through the middle of the field. Huge stretch pass though, and these transition plays are absolutely crucial. They seem to be in full force right off the drop, which is what you love to see.
There's another one to Carve, taking a 50 with Blaze at the receiving end of that pass, and now 2 SCG players getting a bit tangled up. That leaves room for Sato to look for a player center, but that player Carve was taken out by Blaze. Great demo, now a chance! It's turned aside by Carve, newly respawned their car. Blaze not done with this defensive yet that they have stuck Rain into. Oh, still scoreless. It is hot back and forth, Galgan. Very different from that last series where it was a lot of defense from Empire. Here, though, it is very much offensive heavy from both sides.
And Short Circuit trying to crash the net there, but not finding anything of it. Minute and a half already gone, and Sato back the other way, testing Race here, but in the right spot at the right time. And now Kinley will backpedal with this one, looks for the middle, but Sato pulls off. That's headed towards a pretty open net, bottom corner, and in. Race gets us started with a first for Short Circuit.
Well, that was a bit easier than I was expecting. An ill-informed decision there by Kinley, not realizing, didn't have the information that Race was in the middle of that passing lane, ready to receive. And the third man not prepared for the quick shot that erupted. SCG, as many would have expected, first to strike with that offensive juggernaut that they have as their team.
And Rain now forced to come up with an answer with 3 minutes to play. Plenty of time by Game 1 standard here, but certainly want to find the equalizer as quick as possible. Sato now pushes over to the corner, and a little bit of a slow play. People trying to size up where they want to send this ball. It is sent to the backward. Awkward double does leave it as a nice pop to Kinley. Now it's down to Carved again. Trying to play it slow. Has about 60 boosts. Goes for it. Doesn't quite have the flip. And Aviator dispossesses the ball right there. Crucial play. But look at the demo on Carved here. On the way out, it sets up the counter here from the midfield. And Rain continue this pressure.
SCG can't escape at the moment. Good midfield control, but Blaze will finally end it and get destroyed in the process. Right back into the hands of Kinley. 40 boost out, pass down, intercepted by Aviator. That ball should go straight down. Aviator's ready for it. Is beaten in that play by Sato. Pushing SCG back once more. They're looking for the equalizer after going down from that open net. It is a tough Rain team to defend against when they are going strong, but SCG has done well enough so far, taking away the passing game in large part, and they found clears when they needed to.
And these players want to get in each other's faces real bad here, looking for these challenges as early as they can find them. Sato now down to Kinley, but it's taken away here, cut off, and Blaze is up early into the corner. Second touch as well to the backboard. It's in there, but Race can't find it inside the top corner. Tries to send back here to Aviator, but awkward angle. Blaze takes one, and Kinley denies it. Strong stance there at the top of the box to turn that aside. And Rain is really putting in work here. They've still got one to find, but they've made some fantastic defensive plays. It's being asked of them a lot here as Short Circuit do not stop the onslaught.
Carve trying to slow things down, but a missed touch should invite some SGG players forward. Several do go. Blaze received that pass from Race, but Sato wins the challenge in the corner. Neutral 50 there, sets up Kinley for the escape. Pass over to Carved. Once again, slow it down, then Ripping will pass out to Kinley. Shot! The same speed as the pass, and it finds the back of the net.
Race on the goal line once again, but blink and you miss it. That's how fast this shot finds its way. Gotta love the 1-2-1. And Race had an opportunity, but an even 60 seconds on the clock, all square at one apiece. Would you have it any other way for Game 1? I don't think so.
No, sir. I don't think any of us casters and neutral spectators would whatsoever. SCG fans, I'm sure, would have liked this game to go a bit easier in their favor, but Rain proved to be difficult to dispose of. They move forward into the offensive end. Aviator will take it under his wing, flip it over Sato, finding Blaze in transition. Going straight down, if not for a Carved car in the way. Race 50 back into that corner. Making Rain play solid defense to close out this first game, but that now looks mighty open. Carved right down Main Street, and just like that, Rain take the lead.
You're not going to get a gift like that very often in this series, but capitalizing on it is crucial, and Carved does just that. The demos set it up beautifully, but SCG get a little trigger happy on offense, set themselves too far forward, and now they've got to answer.
2-1, SCG under the gun in Game 1. Aviator to the back wall, Carved also up. A crucial slight touch by the defenseman right there, and then Kinley a crafty pinch to make things difficult for SCG. That pass being received by Aviator, shot blocked by Carved. Been so clutch on the defensive end. They have a savior medal of their own, but still pushing is SCG. This juggernaut not done with the first game. Carved trying to take it out of their hands. Good block by Aviator, but the ball's in Kinley's hands. They'll try and spike it down. Race does not allow. Zero boost in Aviator's tank. Into the corner, pop off that back wall. Race and Blaze both up. Shot blocked by Carved. Not on the ground yet. Aviator popping it up back into the box. Blaze off the back wall for the tie, but he can't get it. Big defensive stand by Rain right there.
Oh, I am in disbelief that that doesn't find its way back in. It looked like Rain were inviting it. They weren't getting up for that ball, and yet they still managed to conserve. I mean, obviously, they're low on resources there, but they have to just stand tried and true on the goal line and jump only when completely necessary. They executed well there, but short circuit, I mean, there's not much closer you can get to scoring at 0 seconds to try and force an OT there. They come up short. They're going to want that one back, but it wasn't without a fantastic offensive effort the entire game. They end up shooting, I believe that's 12 shots there, out shooting Rain in this specific game one. So we are in for a series, I can tell.
That is quite the number of saves. Well, I think Rain had 8, and 4 of those belonged to Carved. They stood tall on that back line, and Rain all the better for it. We'll see what SCG has going forward, because they were held in check. They had plenty of offense, but couldn't net enough of their shots to win, especially at the very end. Reset scoreboard. We'll see what the response is from those circuit boys.
And as we get deeper into this series, we remind you, big implications here. Race trying to send a nasty angle down, but these teams looking for that first spot in the grand final. Not only that, but they'll gain a game advantage in that best of 9. Will be absolutely crucial, considering the 4 teams that are left here, with any of them realistically having a good shot to take that grand final series. But as we continue on, it's going to be so crucial. The pressure is on. This is what the MPL has culminated in. It all comes down to this. In game 2 underway here, you have Short Circuit, like you said, looking for their response, playing pretty spaced out here to start, just trying to still test the waters here, see if they can draw out the best of Rain and see how they can counter that.
Well, real quick, as the players go back and forth in transition, that's not a great touch. All right, that save will allow me to talk about the Empire versus Untamed series that actually just wrapped up. Empire swept Untamed, so my bracket will not be perfect in terms of the winner trying to take that place. In my eyes, the number 1 team in this bracket was SCG, now that Untamed has been down, but Rain not allowing it just yet. Galgan, that defense is something else on that orange side of the field.
That's going to be a crazy matchup to watch going up against. I mean, obviously, the loser of this series is going to find Empire first. And again, just to make it clear for those of you who just came in, those are now your top 3 teams. Untamed finishing 4th in MPL Season 1. So Empire, Short Circuit, and Rain, your top 3. One of those 3 about to be the champion at the end of these very long battles here. But speaking of battles, it's a war of attrition here in game number 2. Still no score with just about 2 minutes elapsed. It feels like it's been an eternity as these teams have traded possession back and forth, but now Aviator looks for this to the back wall, does get to the touch and pancakes it, but Race can't get one meaningful off of the back wall. Blaze to the corner as well. Look at that stretch pass, open net, perfect execution.
What a find by Kinley. Sato was in the corner after just getting beaten on a challenge. Kinley had, I think, like 20 boost coming off the back wall, and they used every last drop of it to dime Sato up for the open net strike. Beautiful. Not even transition play. That was just all the way from defense. Rain turning great backline play, back wall play into the opener.
And they have their first goal here, just above the halfway mark. Pressure, though, being felt from Short Circuit. They want to try and push this opportunity, but now Kinley with a good carry as well, trying to beat out Race here. Oh, beautiful presence there to get the second touch, but Blaze turned in. Wanted Blaze to stay out there for the 1-2, try and send that on an odd angle, but unfortunately, communication not quite on lock for Short Circuit. They're forced to back up just a little bit more.
Kinley pushing them back. He's out of boost, though. Has Carved in tow, 50ing it through 1. Chance for the finish, but ball went too wide before that second touch came through. Now, at their own end, Aviator leading Short Circuit over to Race off the ceiling now. Aviator looking for an extra touch, but Carved on top of their hood took the tee off and sent Blaze to the back wall. The blue end of the field. Great demo onto 1. Race forcing Sato up now. Blaze on target, but Carved makes the save again. Tell me if you heard that one before, Galgan. Carved is so crucial. Sato, though, stepping up, filling those shoes momentarily. Still just the 1-0.
So many defensive performances needed here,
Oh.
and Carved gets another one, massive, and the pass as well comes out here to try and set up more. It's actually a little bit of an unintentional pass, but still, Rain comes back the other way. The defense has to be on point. There's the musty into the air dribble. Kinley nearly getting it inside the near corner there. Carved can't find the shot. Sato as well doesn't get a piece of it. So 80 seconds to play, and obviously Rain looking for insurance here. Short Circuit get a little bit more time on the ball, but the passing lane gets cut off, and they're starting to run out of responses.
Sato to the back wall. Going to send a message Short Circuit's way with a second goal, but no dice. Rain still at just the single tally on the scoreboard. But more importantly, Short Circuit at that goose egg. Under a minute to play here. Rain looking for some kind of insurance off the side wall. Pass in. Sato's there, but so too is Aviator. Finding Race now in stride. Pop into the orange box. Who's there but Carved, of course. Keeping control of it on that back wall. Aviator back center. Race is actually there, but Blaze as well. It's a double commit. Could be an open net look, but really can't find a touch off the side wall. Still, though, Rain doing a good job of wasting time, not allowing too many good looks to go Short Circuit's way late.
And under 30 to go. This one leaks through, but Carved able to take it away yet again. Carved now with 2 saves, 5 total for Rain as they continue to hold. 15 seconds, still looking for the equalizer here. Short Circuit, middle of the field. Aviator looking to turn instead. It's Blaze, takes it to the backboard. Up high early is Race, gets contact with it. It's there for Aviator to take the shot. Placement is pristine. We've got a tie game with 4 to go.
And finally, a chance for Short Circuit Gaming off of a low population back line for Rain Esports. They didn't have players to defend is what I'm trying to say, and Short Circuit finally found their opening in this game. Will put in their second of the series and potentially send us to an overtime unless we see a 0-second play. We will not. That ball's spiked and we get our chance at extra time.
And our MPL fans from the B stream, after witnessing Empire dispose of Untamed there, now joining up in Game 2 of this series. We've just hit overtime, first overtime of the series, but as we continue on here, it'll be really interesting if Short Circuit can find this victory. It'll be a great result for them, waiting so long to tie things up, finally getting it with 4 to go, but this one waterfalls off the backboard. Very dangerous. The clear is fast enough, though, as Aviator now walks this down through the corner, able to get the bump on Carve, trying to get the defense away. Double tap from Race. The follow-up shot from Blaze is turned aside by Kinley, and the clutch defense again strikes here for Rain.
And the pass out, looking for the 1-2-1, but Carved will receive a clearance. That net's, nearly exposed. Blaze covering his teammate's mistake. Now pushing Rain to their back lines once more. Pass center. It's too far back for Race to be prepared for. Sato challenged by Kinley. That shot is just in! Sato from the corner taking it in overtime. And Rain Esports will find themselves up 2 games in this series.
It snuck up on everybody, including us, and nobody home to take that away. I mean, that's an impossible angle from Sato there, coming from the corner across the net. It's a fantastic shot, and yeah, like you say, Rain up 2 in this series, and I don't know about you, Bepic, but I'm kind of sweating on the desk right now, because if our prediction holds true, that requires a Short Circuit sweep from here on out. And it's not that Short Circuit aren't in this. It's been a fantastic close series. That was the first overtime, but both games decided by just 1 goal. It's going to be crazy from here on out, and I have to think that Short Circuit can make it back in, but they've just got to open up this space a little bit. I feel like Rain's clutch defense there's a little bit of a heavy reliance on it, but not without reason. They're playing very well. For Short Circuit, though, if they can find some clean shots, maybe even some bumps or demos, I think they open up the scoring in this series.
If SCG can find a way to consistently thin out that back line of Rain Esports, their offense will have a much easier time of getting going in this best of 7. But if there was a time for 4 straight wins from a team, I think this is it for Short Circuit Gaming, because they've got the offense, first of all, to just dominate 4 straight games, but also I'm always a bit wary with highly defensive teams, and that is the style of Rocket League Rain is playing right now, where they're playing a ton of defense, inviting SCG forward, and then making those saves. They're doing it quite well, yes, but in this current meta of Rocket League, offense is king. Though, of course, as I say that, Galgan, the defense punishing Short Circuit Gaming off of a double commit in offense.
That looks like a nasty triple to me, to be completely honest. And pretty much everybody in the lobby jumping for that ball. And again, you know, there's only so much we can talk about it. That's what you cannot be doing in this matchup right now. You cannot give Rain those looks because they are going to take them every single day of the week.
And that is where defensive playstyles thrive, in those chances to punish. And still, on the back line, no surprise there. Rain having to defend against this play. Two there, carved one of them. Credited for that save. Race trying to see might to push it forward. Cannot. Aviator off the post. Now in transition, Sato taking the reins. Pass to the side. Carved was more focused on the boost, though, receiving the ball. I like that decision. Now he's got plenty to work this ball out of their own half, but get it in. Rain still maintaining that 1-goal lead. SCG not yet to break through.
Yeah, this is a position that SCG are unfortunately all too comfortable in, is playing in this deficit. Really want to see them jump out to the lead, but again, too many people jumping for this shot. The defenders meet them in numbers, and Rain able to take it away. Now back the other side. That's a huge redirect, though, to deny the anticipated backboard touch. And this one finds its way out from Race off of the sidewall, but again, the defense trying to switch on over here. Now back to Race. Big clear, sending into the zone. Sato goes up high. Over a minute and a half gone. Rain still holding on to that 1-0 lead, but not necessarily slowing down in the lobby so much as these touches are being a little more unpredictable. These players missing in spots that we don't quite expect them to, and I don't think the players in the lobby are truly expecting it either. It can be a strategy to try and fake some of these out, but at a certain point, you've got to look for some powerful shots here. Just take the opportunity when you have it. Sato, nasty, absolutely. Oh, if only that went in.
Oh, Sato feeling it tonight. And called upon that back line, receiving the back pass. A race over to Aviator. Ball stuck in the corners. There's a double commit. SCG getting a little bit impatient, trying to find the equalizer, trying to break through this ever so stout Rain back line. Be extending a little bit too much at times, though. They will maintain possession here. Aviator can't get it through Kinley and that back wall. Race, or Blaze rather, at the midfield line, winning it, though. Sato comes in, carved off the back wall, setting up Kinley, if not for Aviator. Those transitions, deadly as ever for Rain. Still not a second, but they are at least wasting time.
Yeah, and this one from Race finds its way, equalizer just like that. Great push here as well to open up the zone, and just some unfortunate touches. You talk about possession control, and that's exactly what Rain wants out of that situation, but their third person in rotation not there at the top of the box. Prime scoring area, and Race does well to keep the head up and take that shot home. 1-1 with 2 to play.
That was a double commit in defense that led to that goal for Rain. Some more mistakes slipping into the backline rotations. The fellas on the orange side of the field, though, in offense, they're feeling just fine. Count it in terms of transition goals. That's another one for Rain.
This neutral game just is all Rain right now. Every single time it gets tied up, they do not care. They don't play any more passive than they need to. They'll just keep finding these opportunities and putting this pressure routinely on short circuit. They're hoping that this squad in blue cracks under the pressure. Carved with a huge touch to clear a lot of space. And you've got to like how Rain are approaching this so far. They have the responses. They've got the lead here later on. Oh, look at that dribble, though, out to the flick, but Carved has time to take it away, as Carved does with yet another save.
Oh my, does he take it away. That looked to be a chance to set up possession for SCG, but Carved slowing things down, leads to a shot, in fact. Kinley putting one on net, making Aviator get up and waste some boost, and there's another double commit in the midfield. Blaze and Race, the two players diving over one another, and now an open net. That was caused by chaos, not misrotations, but Rain put in a third.
See, but as soon as that double commit happens, there's a complete fallout there. And you see Aviator and Race both on the goal line. They both flip for that because they don't know what portions of the net each other can cover. And even when the passing play falls apart for Rain, they're still able to get the goal because nobody can hit the ball fast enough. They're all expecting the shot to come in initially. So again, we cycle back to this idea of, are they faking the touch? Oh, Kinley just at the bottom of the box. They're running away with it here.
Goals have just started erupting. Mistakes flowing through SCG's gameplay. A miss from Race at the most crucial moment. And Kinley jumped on that situation, dunked ball into the back of the net. And this might be reverse sweep territory for the #1 overall seed in this bracket. SCG having a tough time competing against a very hot Rain. And Galvin, we talked and we were discussing whether or not Rain will be able to keep up their play from yesterday. They very much have.
Yeah, carved with that very beautiful squishy with so much power as well. There's no question about it. They have come to play here. So Short Circuit, though, is Race doing it. I mean, talk about a player that has initiated so much here for Short Circuit to try and keep the hope alive. How does Race stay there for that touch?
You're asking the wrong person, Galgan. I cannot explain, and I will not attempt to explain what Race can do in offense. That was beautiful, and that is why I never want to count SCG out, because they can pull plays from up their sleeve and get goals back. Unfortunately, it's looking like it's a bit too late in this instance. I think Carve knows it as well. Diving in for that corner play where there was nothing really, and with 30 seconds left, and that shot setting up Sato for the finish. That's a retaliation if I've ever seen one.
I cannot believe this series right now. Carved, you're coming off of the opposite angle. Nobody thinks you're there. You're sneaking up on everybody, and still, the crazy touch. It's insane, the quality of chances that it takes to score in this specific series, and this is only the upper final. We still have lower final and grand final to go before we pick a winner, but it's just amazing to watch this unfold.
Mechanics have finally showed up for both sides. It was very transition heavy for a while, defense heavy if you are Rain, but here we've seen several aerial plays work out. That crazy backwall play as well from Rain. So, as Aviator just said in chat, Galgan, this might be, I'll add a might be to that because I'm not sure it's going to happen, the best reverse sweep of all time. At least SCG is confident.
Yeah, and to respond to that, Kinley said for real. So they're in agreement, which is great. You know, we'll get a full 7-game effort here. Listen, I mean, it's really hard for me to see. I mean, you know, you look specifically at Short Circuit here and what answers they have, because now it does have to be that reverse sweep. It has to be winning 4 games in a row. They have to take it one step at a time against this squad here in Rain, but it's tough to see their way in. I'm looking at this team as playing as a full unit of 3 because we've called out Race so many times on the offensive side of things, and arguably all of Short Circuit has had to be tested on defense in some way, shape, or form, but I want to see that full team push on offense the same way Rain has opened up the passing lanes on their end, because Rain, even when their passes fall apart, they still find the goals. Short Circuit, they need Race to pop off mechanically just to get a look on target here against Rain. But as we go into game number 4, only time will tell if Short Circuit have the answers, or are Rain going to get to the grand final via a best of 7 sweep.
That's to be determined. SCG have the firepower to work their way back, but I don't think it's going to be maybe the mechanics that gets them there. That'll be part of it, but they have looked a bit disjointed on the offensive end of things, and Rain has not in their defensive end. Their rotations have been solid when the offensive rotations of SCG have not looked as solid. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what adjustments are made in the blue camp. Right now, we're all tied up, 0 apiece, 45 in. Kinley looks to change that. Blaze does not allow.
There have been so many times where Rain have found that exact passing play, and it's really telling that they're able to get that off when the ball's so low to the ground. They're picking it apart, weaving through, and look at that! Completely open on the other side for Sato to take that shot. It's a beautiful first goal here for Rain.
Now it's the offense of Rain Esports that's looking expert level. What a setup and finish. Sato, great strike from the air, and SCG truly under the gun right now. They need 4 straight wins to make it to the grand finals right here and right now, and in a game they have to come out on top of. They're down 1 early on. Could be Blaze to change that, but no, says the Rain defense. Pass over, race for the finish. Carved gets the save, Galgan. How about that?
I mean, you could put together a compilation of us saying that Carved gets the save, and I feel like it would eclipse 10 minutes at this point because it's just been said over and over again, and for good reason. And even now, these opportunities where the ball is just deep in the zone and it's a little slow to clear, so all of a sudden Kinley comes through, able to get a second touch as well, force this one close to on target, bounces off the top corner, and tough challenge there for Carved to take. Kinley does get a block, but now looking for it. No immediate follow-up though. Aviator's too far back, and Race and Blaze both have to rotate out. So Short Circuit still left searching for this equalizer. Again, it's not an unfamiliar position in this specific series. Short Circuit have been down by 1 early in most of the games of this series so far, but they don't seem to have the answers still, and they are running out of time to find them.
And the difference between the Short Circuit we saw in games 1 and 2 and now is that they have had very little time of possession, though this could be a chance for an equalizer, slowing things down as Aviator, but Kinley off the back wall makes the save. Now I want to see SCG turn this into an extended period of pressure, more like what we saw out of them in the first 2 games of this series, where they were making Rain work in defense, and Rain was passing those tests. But now that SCG's plenty warmed up into this best of 7, they could find more shots in the back of that orange net. We will see. This is trending in the right direction, though, for the boys in blue.
And they have the opportunity here. Blaze right on the money. Bottom corner, the equalizer comes through. I feel like I'm getting deja vu because this is oftentimes what we've had in this series. About this time that Short Circuit find their answer finally off of a little bit of an awkward defense. The demos, of course, helping as well to sow confusion in the back ranks of Rain, but we're all square with 2:10 to play.
Okay, 2 minutes left. Short Circuit, finally some more momentum in their camp. Can they extend the goal-scoring streak, which I believe is currently at 1. They'll need to if they want to take this game. Sato pop into the infield for himself. Aviator is there. Drop straight down back to him, but he'll leave it for Carved. Into the blue end. Sort of a back-and-forth fight over the midfield line. If SCG wins this, they could posture themselves for a quick second. A good response to take away some momentum from Rain Esports, who have to have it all at this point. That's a great setup, though, and I don't think SCG going to have too many chances right now to turn in that go-ahead goal.
Yeah, they've got to be real careful here. For every moment that they sit back a little bit, Rain is going to push that advantage. Huge block. Sato has a nice touch. Passes it out to Carved instead, and Blaze with a massive save. And the follow-up's not there. That is a huge turnout for yet another prominent passing play for Rain, but they turn it aside. Short Circuit, and now back the other way, but there's nobody in the middle of the field. Sato sends it and tests Race immediately. Back now, Sato looking to center. Can't hit Carved. Kinley turning back one-on-one. Race is favored in this position, but gets rid of the ball too early. Less than a minute to go. Back the other way. Rain off the backboard. Sato doesn't get the shot, and we're flying back and forth right now.
Oh, what an opportunity that was for Race. Just too strong a touch. Could be a crucial error in this game if somehow Rain gets back in this one, takes the lead as Kinley will do. It took a hop off that corner. We know how bounces can go sometimes, but Rain does find their lead back with just under 40 to play.
Oh, and everybody's rotating too fast out of that corner. That bottom corner is just found. It's right off the post. A very fortunate bounce there for Kinley, but people moving too fast, and now all of a sudden 35 to play. Short Circuit backs against the wall. Obviously they're not eliminated with a loss in this series, but Rain, if they manage to pull this off in the final 30, they will have advanced to the grand final in a sweep fashion. I am pretty sure that close to nobody had Rain going to the grand finals through uppers, but they are making everybody regret that decision right now as the final moments close in. They get the stretch to the back of the zone. 10 seconds remaining. Carved is racing for this one off the ceiling, and it might be done and dusted. That is gonna do it. The insurance goal, 3 seconds, and Rain is likely going to the grand finals.
Rain Esports, spam your crowns in chat, all you fans out there, because your team just took down the #1 seeded Short Circuit Gaming in a sweep, an incredible sweep at that, a hard-fought sweep, but that 4-0 has got to look so good next to your name moving into that best of 9 that will be coming up just a little bit later. But that defense, Galgan, led by the man at the center of the screen, Carved, was a huge factor in that victory. A well-deserved MVP medal in Game 4, and an absurd performance, an absurd run from Rain Esports. Galgan, I can't believe they made it this far.
that defense from Carve, but that offense from all of Rain was impeccable. They found the middle of the field effortlessly. Their passing plays were low to the ground. They were incredibly accurate, and they found so many opportunities through just like that. I mean, you can't paint a picture of a much more deserving 4-0 win to get into the grand finals. Rain have proven that they are carrying that, and I mean, just looking at the rest of this, obviously we know our top three, Short Circuit and Empire, yet to play in the lower finals, but the storylines going into this, not only is Rain that surprise team that made the run through uppers, but if you get Empire back in there, I feel like you have the unstoppable force of Rain going up against the immovable object of Empire. So that would be fantastic. If Short Circuit managed to win this lower finals, then that's going to be Short Circuit playing with a fire lit under them for sure. This grand final is going to be absolutely amazing no matter who makes it there with Rain.
Well, real quick before we do get to a break before that lower finals, Rain Esports have now downed 3 of the 4 number 1 seeds out of groups. Team Meteor, Untamed Esports, and now Short Circuit Gaming. What a run they are on. And now, the aforementioned Short Circuit Gaming taking on Empire Esports. Let's see which team gets a date with Rain in that best of 9 coming up in just a little bit. You guys better not go anywhere. Ellen Patch League coming right back in just a bit.
Будто в кулаке зажав великан, в иллюминаторе земля. Самолет несет меня, большой стальной великан, в иллюминаторе земля. Open for plans tonight, lost in the afterglow. Oh, girl, your love for me, it's mirror shows the other side of me. All these ones and zeros, nothing in between. But there's so much more to me than eyes can see. Than eyes can see. I'm not binary. I'm not binary. What an irony. My mirror shows the other side of me. All these ones and zeros, nothing in between. But there's so much more to me than eyes can see. Than eyes can see. I'm not binary. What an irony. My mirror shows the other side of me. All these ones and zeros, nothing in between. But there's so much more to me than eyes can see. Than eyes can see. I'm not binary. If we try to believe in anything greater than a miracle, it wouldn't be this difficult. If we try to be a negative bull, yeah, we could be taking control. If we try to believe in anything greater than a miracle, it wouldn't be this difficult. If we try to be a negative bull, yeah, we could be taking control. 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 If we
6 teams entered today's MPL playoffs. We've cut that in half. Gilthanes were down to just the 3. And now, one of these 2 squads you're about to see, SCG versus Empire Esports, will be making a date happen with Rain in that grand finals. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. Watching all this MPL action has got me absolutely just fantastically involved with this Rocket League scene. I don't think anyone kind of expected that Rain was going to come out and do the things they did. Short Circuit versus Empire in our losers finals here. Aviator, Blaze, and Crave and all these guys looking for one last ride to get up into those grand finals to take on Rain. I'm about it.
I am as well. Last time these 2 teams met, it was the winners semifinals yesterday. They went to Game 7 overtime. So if they don't do that again right here, I might riot Gilthanes, because we've had 4 series take place, and they've all been sweeps so far.
Pepik, if there's one thing I've learned from casting with you, we always end up in overtimes. We always go the distance in a series. So I don't think that's going to be any problem for us here tonight.
Well, we shall see. The players were talking about it in the pre-game chat, just picking each other's brains, saying, yeah, let's go to Game 7 overtime again, right? So we'll see if they have that much fun once again. Losers finals. Winner takes home $100 of Prestige Esports money, the sponsor of Melon Patch League Season 1. The winner playing a best of 9 in probably about an hour's time, if this does in fact go the distance. But Gil, scoreboard says double zeros, 5 minutes on the clock. Let's do this thing.
And Crave, I'm going to be looking at him on the side of Empire. He's been a factor here tonight, has pushed his team this far into the playoffs as he will hop back into the center. Mazo trying to get this one down the line, broken up by Blaze. Crave will let Mizu handle this one to the side. Little fake on the touch, gets the wave dash down the wall. Nice 50. Crave just going to peel back as this one just a air ball to midfield. Blaze with a chance here, trying to go up over top, and denied as Crave makes a great defensive stop.
That Empire Esports defense, I'm happy to see, has not lost any of its zeal in between this series and the last one I saw of theirs. They were content to sit back against Team Meteor, and sit back they did. They got the perfect sweep just by scoring 3 goals in transition. That could be what happens here as they look to set up their offense, but Aviator says no thank you. We won't be getting a counterattack goal just yet. And, well, actually, SCG taking it to that white end of the field after the battle for midfield ensues, Gil.
I'm kind of surprised. Both these teams, no strangers to taking it to the offense right away, giving each other a little bit of a feel-out period in this Game 1 as Race tries to play it over Crave. Through the top, he's got some space, trying to take that 50 off the back of his car and Race. A long booming clear that Mizo will try and find on the boards. Race tried to sneak under that one. 50 to the sidewall, feeds back out in front. Aviator was looking for it, but again, a nice defensive stop from Crave prevents any offense.
And that near post covered again. No one has really been allowed into either team's box so far. This could be a chance for Blaze and Aviators. They move forward through that corner, but once more, the ball is kept in the corner. After 2 minutes of gameplay, we've only seen 2 players with registered shots on target. On the side of SCG, just 1 on the side of Empire Esports. Very slow and methodical, which is surprising. You touched on it. These are 2 teams known for their heavy offensive capabilities. We have not seen that so far in this series. Both sitting back until now. Crave strikes first.
And Crave was my player to look out for. This man has been a dynamo on the offensive side of the ball. Aviator fooled by Mazo's touch. And I want to focus on how good of a setup that was by Mazo. Forced 2 defenders off of that back wall to get that pass across. And Crave, Johnny on the spot, hammers it home for the first one.
Oh, and Mazo up and around Blaze. They'll get it through another until Aviator steps in and takes control of a weird situation on that side wall. Now Blaze on the back wall. Aviator trying to keep it in the offensive end. Actually does the opposite. Back pass for Blaze to receive after some boost grabbing and corner wall maneuvering. Will do well to clear the zone after that back pass. Race in tow for the backflip flick. Now just going under, rather. A couple of defenders. Some weird offensive tries from either side, and one finds the back of the net.
Mizu got stuck on the side of the post here as he tried to rotate back around. Aviator, perfect placement as he slips that one just by the post. And this game is all tied up at 1.
Wow. Aviator really took advantage of a mostly empty net as Mizu was stuck there in the back. Nice strike. Both sides have their shooting boots at the moment. Crave, one of those players that exemplified it. Mizu having to step in and keep control in the corner. They try to take it away. Mazu steps in now and up the ceiling. Ball finds its way back to Crave. It's the other corner's turn to see some action. Mazu will have control out of it now. Aviator actually does. A bout in this corner just to see who can take some control of the rock. Finally, it is SCG winning it by way of Blaze.
Mizu looking to interrupt the little air dribble. He's got some time. Misses the flip reset as Crave charges in. Mazo one-on-one against Race. Race able to put it to the corner. And Race has been a staunch goal line defender for this squad as he wastes no time making another save. And another Race just on point on those sidewalls here tonight.
And still, a low shot tally game for both sides. 3 for Empire, 4 for Short Circuits. A little bit of an efficiency battle. Who can ultimately put that second goal in first. The other one in a bind. That's a triple commit. With the same ball in defense, and Empire still coming away with possession. Crave using minimal boost to clear the zone and get an extra touch. Mizu stepping in that corner. Aviator a strong bomb only as far as Crave. At that midfield line, ball staying on the green end of the field. Mizu keeping it there, 50 on that back wall. Mazu, touch over, but Aviator keeps control. Race out to Blaze, over to Aviator, back wall chance for the aforementioned flight guy. His name themed with the air, and that fits Gilthane's. Aviator loves to play in the skies.
And Empire, to their credit as well, they like to play high on these walls. They like to carry it up as much as they can, use their mechanics to try and force some of these players off of the backward with some of these air dribbles, with some of these shots that Crave is able to force. And Mizu doing the exact same thing here again, just going for the solo play. He's going to draw Race up, and that is a picture-perfect pass that cannot get buried, unfortunately for them.
Okay, their second chance here. Aviator flicks it. Blaze going to step in for the rebound after Crave's touch off the side wall. Race keeping it up. Crave taking control of the situation. Strong clear down. Mazu not going to go up for it as Blaze at the back wall covered. Still not touching the ground until now. Overtime in game 1.
Nice little infield pass, trying to find him right there at the end of the game. Blaze doing a good job clearing that ball out because there was 2 players on that side hunting for it. As Crave leaves this one for Mizu. Far side, Race with a little bit of room in front of him. He'll stretch his legs down the field. Looking for the 50 down in front of Aviator. Trailing, takes the shot, and what a save from Crave. Blaze right back up to it, and he scores. And that will end game 1. Great play by Short Circuit.
My, that defensive Empire nearly got themselves out of a jam, but placement from Blaze is what ultimately ends game 1. Great shot. Short Circuit finally back on track. They've won their first game on the evening, albeit in overtime and a very close match against Empire. But their offense finally started to ramp up. Gilthane's and Empire at the very, very end finally faltered in the defensive side of things.
And Short Circuit did a good job weathering the storm that game. Race in particular making 3 big saves on Empire as they were kind of getting into that comfortable rotation. When Crave and Mizu try and get up in that offense and get some of those shots away and pull those defense side to side, they're a very, very tough duo to stop. So credit to Race and these guys for getting that ball out, controlling it as well as they did to get it across that midfield line.
They definitely won the battle of possession. I think towards the end, their transitions looked pretty good. It was still close. I would say it was only won by thin margin, maybe 55-45 at the very, very end. But the scoreboard is reset. Just a 1-0 lead in this long best of 7. Gilthane's chance now for Empire to retaliate.
Mizu plays it to the backboard. Aviator. Mazo cuts back around to the backboard again, and Aviator able to halt the play, but Mizu keeps it alive. Mazo looking for the 50 along the wall. He'll leave this one as it kind of flutters back up the midfield. He'll cut it back inside. Crave right there takes a shot, and Aviator again able to make that big save. Mizu misses on this as Aviator looking to press downfield, and right back it goes. Nifty little touch from Mazo to clear the zone.
Oh, sets up Mizu though.
And that one, a little bit of an intricate fake on that backboard.
I thought he had it. I blazed and raced it as well. That's what cleared up the goal line for that shot from Mizu. That was perfect. That deadly combination of Mizu and Mazo that got Empire to this point, I think. Striking first in game 2. And, I mean, Mazo can hit those, and the defense of SCG definitely knew that.
And that's the thing. You're so hardwired as a defender to just go up for that. You know these players have the mechanic to just touch that one in, and kind of fooling 2 players in the lobby. Mizu up the sidewall. He's got plenty of time. Look out. Mizu challenged by Aviator. He'll swat it back down to mid. He doesn't have enough boost to get to it, but a second touch by Blaze will send this one to corner. Quick shot. Blaze looking for the rebound, and Mizu able to deflect it away. Had he hit that a second sooner, Bepic, he probably would have put that directly into Blaze's car.
And that was a defensive fake that ended up, there's a slowdown, I suppose, more so than a fake. But either way, the defense of Empire quite good tonight, especially with touches like that. Mizu into the corner. Crave the extension down the field, though. The counterattack dying out at that midfield line. Short circuit finally started to get on the board in terms of the possession game. We started out mostly Empire, their offense remaining on the field, but 2 minutes in, short circuit, some time spent on the green end of the field. They've yet to find that equalizer, though.
Good boost management from the side of Empire. There's a lot of boost stealing towards that midfield line. Mazo flick on that one off the top of the crossbar and out. Had a little bit of daylight to shoot at, was not able to put it home. And Mizu looking to get the rebound. Aviator up over top. They're going to try and race down the boards. Blaze tries to center it up. Aviator not quite in a position, so he will just play the 50 game to allow his team some time. He gets a cut around, tries to get it back to mid, and ultimately ends up kind of giving this ball away. Never mind. Aviator, perseverance on the ball, tries to create a play.
Aviators definitely clocked into this series race. A miss, though. Mazo looking for Blaze on the descent down from the air. Couldn't find him. Would have opened up the net for a second goal. Still, actually, that net very much open, and Crave a shot right down the center of the field. Finds gold.
And that one just kind of hung up in the midfield line. Aviator was getting that back boost. Didn't play it in time, and with 2 minutes left, short circuit. We're going to need 2 goals to try and equalize and race. Good kickoff, but it comes right to Crave. Flip reset. He's looking for Mizu along the boards. Look out. Crave still with it as Race will be forced to play it up the sideline. Blaze hanging around him. Mazo to the backboard. Mizu dunked out in front and in. And a 3-0 lead for Empire.
All right, the offense from Empire at times has been very, very slow. At times has been very, very speedy. That one right there, just a methodical, easy, up in the air pass, and of course, that shot is going to be a hit. Mizu been clinical in the air outside that white box, or the green box, rather. And, well, there's a 4th kill. Empire, I'd say they have rebounded from their Game 1 loss.
I'll say so, and Mazo has been a setup artist here tonight. 2 assists to his name, and now he will add a goal to it as well. And a 4-0 lead with 2 minutes left, and at this point for short circuit, we're just looking to play for a little momentum heading into this next one.
This has been a statement game, too. Empire not taking that Game 1 overtime loss very, very lightly. 100 seconds left in this game, and circuit trying to find one. Blaze could be the leader to that spot on the scoreboard. Set up Aviator for a shot to the back wall. Crave, great touch. That back wall defense has been present all night long for Empire, and it has kept short circuit off of the scoreboard in this one, Gil.
And I feel like the hesitancy is starting to vanish from the side of short circuit. They're getting into it. They seemed a little reluctant to kind of challenge for some of these 50s, as Crave has just been a monster with him. Shot on, and Blaze makes the save as Mazo will be shuffled out of net by a few bumps. Race looking for it. Blaze downfield. This one backboard play, and nobody there as Mazo will clear the zone.
Clear it he will. That back wall, maybe some more goals in store for Empire Esports now. Slowing things down. Not just yet. We don't need a 5th goal. It's just about keeping short circuit off the board, I think. Here, well, heck, there's a chance. And it's put in by Mizu. Get credit. Not allowing Mazo to come in and steal it. He knew just how much to put off that post, and Empire looked unstoppable in the second game.
And the difference really is that second man coming in super quick for Empire. Every single challenge ball they've been able to kind of scoop up at that midfield line. And if Short Circuit want to get back into this series, they're going to have to get to the ball a lot quicker and not let them set the pace the way they have in this game. 5-0. Mazo, big fake. Blaze cuts it back around. Mazo one to beat Aviator. Last man on the line, and he drills it. Mazo, big solo play going coast to coast.
That is something else. Mazo is something else. What a flick over Aviator. And 6-0 is the scoreline here. A bit of a blowout in the second game to tie things up. Reminder to everyone, may have just tuned in, it was an overtime, a super close match in game number 1 that Short Circuit ended up winning. Here, the complete and utter opposite. Though, Gil, real quick, in the series yesterday between Empire and Short Circuit, game 1 was a 5-1 blowout in favor of Empire, and the next game following that was a 1-0 win for Short Circuit. So I think the offenses and defenses play well in bursts between these two teams.
Yeah, we all know how that series shaped out. Short Circuit ended up winning that 4-3 margin, but 7-0, a statement game from Empire, as Mazo, Mizu, and Crave have just popped off here in this one. Blaze looking for the centering pass down to Aviator, and they'll get their Brazil for the road as they will head into their next game with a little bit of momentum, Bepic.
The defense allowing that to go in, and a little bit of momentum is right. I think Short Circuit, they've been chatting a little bit for a while now. I think they knew that this game was over, and this one goal, who knows what it'll do for the mental. I think Short Circuit have been trying to stay positive just by saving themselves and talking to the Empire guys in game chat. There's no telling what happens in game 3 now. Yes, it was a 7-1 in favor of Empire, but that means nothing going forward, apparently. Look at that, 14 shots. That early lead was enough for Empire to ultimately take this game.
And they controlled the pace through those 3 goals as well in the beginning. Mizu, Mazo, and Crave really effective at challenging the ball, making sure their boost management in the defensive zone when they do kind of get stuck by Short Circuit has been well handled. And Empire looking to just kind of carve into that and keep that same momentum up. And Short Circuit gonna have to find a way to either break their rotation or challenge a lot earlier than they were, as Empire, like I said, was able to get a lot of that boost at the midfield and just keep that same train going.
And then eventually a hole would open just outside the Short Circuit box, and then there was an Empire player there ready to strike. It was typically Mizu who was up for those shots, but things shift in these long series, and Game 3, completely fresh start for Short Circuit Gaming. We'll see what they can do with it, as Empire continuing their hot streak run in the losers.
And away we go, Mizu. Kickoff. This one going to bounce down right in front of the net. Crave trying to dunk it already, and Race comes up with a big save early on. And a critical first goal is going to be important for Short Circuit. They want to start off on the right foot. Do not want to play it from behind against this team that already has a lot of momentum. Blaze trying to answer the bell, and Mizu, a huge save.
And the two teams look the hottest right now. Rain and Empire Esports have really exemplified the term defense wins championships. As from what I have seen so far, the back lines of both those sides have been incredible, putting on immaculate performances. And, well, Short Circuit Gaming having a difficulty with both of them right now. That's a great pass out, and now Mizu a chance off the ceiling. Will he put it in? No! Denied the last second. Blaze using that defensive strategy to his advantage there.
Blaze was absolutely clobbered on that save as well. He ended up getting bumped twice as he came out of net. So Mazo trying to take the shot. Aviator, last man makes the save to the sideline. Mizu tries to push it back mid. Crave right there, 50. What
Whoa.
a save from Race. Somehow he able to pinch it against the post.
And then Blaze the clearance out. Though Mizu, that net kind of open. Aviator will get back in time. Didn't make it look pretty, but his rotation did the job. Now he'll try to clear it out with boost in the tank to work with. Runs out of it at the tail end of that play. Now Empire continuing their string of offensive looks. Mizu, big opponent of the Empire offense. lose out in the corner. Now a chance for SCG. We haven't seen too many of those Gilthanes, and Empire's defense, they're doing their job right to make us say that.
And look, it's that same rotation on defense. You try and get it to the wall, you push it up high to that sidewall, and just play it out with an air dribble. And that has been kind of the bread and butter for Empire all playoffs long. And no stranger to it here tonight as well. Mizu looking for the connection pass down to Crave. Midfield feed, Blaze. Miss hit. Chance here at Aviator right there to bail his teammate out. We'll try and find it again on the backboard. This one going to dribble out from Mazo. Gets a double to the backboard. Mizu up for it. Going to try and drop it back down. And this one will be sent the length of the field. And Crave will pick it up.
Despite Empire Esports putting up 5 times the amount of shots of Short Circuit right now, we're still scoreless. A much better job defending and getting cars between the net and the ball by SCG in this one. Perhaps they can strike here. No, says Crave. Great beat in the infield. Now Blaze all alone in defense will put it out into the corner, and SCG doing a great job of keeping the ball in non-lethal positions like that. They have played a lot of defense, but they have played a lot of defense through those corners where Empire can't rip shots on net.
And they've got some good defensive breakouts, looking for some of these transition plays as Crave dunks it down off the roof.
That was pretty. Crave from the air, Mizu leaving it for his teammate, and I don't envy Aviator's position right there, coming off of the back ball, having to defend against 2 potential avenues of offense. I don't blame SCG for conceding that one.
That was a rough shot because as a defender, you don't know where that ball is going to go. You have one player coming up, one player coming down. I myself thought it was the one that was coming down off the roof that hit it. Ended up being Crave just coming off the ground. Big fake from Blaze as he tried to tuck that one under. Mizu not contested again as Race tries to play it up to the midfield. Crave shot far side. Aviator with the save. He's trying to get back out, but this offensive rotation from Empire has just been swarming this last minute.
So, Open Gaming have the offensive firepower to hit in transition, and there was nearly my points just talked into existence. No, Blaze couldn't put it home. A rare miss. Usually a very skilled player in the air. Now Mizu, one of those as well, setting up Crave for a shot. Blaze the save to give Mazo a chance actually off that back wall. Miss. Empire can't extend their lead, but at the very least they are wasting time that SCG needs to be using to desperately put home an equalizer.
Crave, little mistouch there as Mazo cleared the zone. Race trapped on his own backboard. 2 players rushing him down. Blaze able to come across the front of the net to get the clear. Aviator stuffed out by Mizu. Race last man. He'll play it off the side. He's got some room in front of him. He'll try and take it. Crave pushes the 50 to the sideline, and with 30 seconds left, they need a goal. Aviator trying to provide it. Mizu off the ceiling, and Blaze keeps it alive, and both these teams just go back and forth across midfield.
Seconds left now before Empire take a series lead. Should this result hold, Race, one of those players trying to change the scoreline you currently see, but shut down by Mizu. So a chance for Mazo now. Shot blocked. Mizu's not the same. 2-0 Empire Esports, 2-1 in the series.
And the dagger, Mazo takes the 50, and that midfield presence showing its head again as Empire put the dagger in with 3 seconds left. It's looking like they will be able to take a series lead now. Mizu trying to hustle back across, race to the sideline, and Aviator swats it back down. So Bepic, what do you see? What can Short Circuit do to kind of get back into these games? Because it seems like they're being outshot quite a bit.
They're being pinned back quite a bit as well. It's leading to all those shots. They have not been able to find a way out of their half for very long periods of time. I mean, I put 3 on the board there, and Blaze, Aviator, and Race, both incredibly talented players mechanically, but they have not been able to showcase that here because Empire Esports have dominated that midfield line so much. They've controlled the boost game so well. It has led to difficult transitions to set up for Short Circuit Gaming, and if that persists, Gil, if Short Circuit Gaming are kept out of the air and kept pinned back, then they're going to have a tough time working their way back, because it is usually those mechanics and the talent of those 3 players that end up taking games in series.
And again, a lot of smart third man play coming out of Empire. That third man rotating back, he knows exactly when to pull off when Short Circuit is looking for some of those clears, looking for some of those carries out. And they're just able to maintain possession, go back up the midfield line with their boost advantage. And Crave just trying to put it down out front. He was looking for that slow 50 and Blaze sends it back in off the sidewall. Aviator off the post, race right back. Aviator gets the touch, but that one not able to put out in front.
Well, I was talking about creating good chances in offense through transition. That was one of them. Aviator, I didn't have a great look on his shooting angle, but it seemed like, from what I could tell, that was a shot he is capable of putting in, but ultimately could not. Now a chance for Blaze to make up for that, and he will set up Aviator for a chance. It's blocked, though, by Empire. And even when their defensive numbers are small, they still get in the way of shots, and they've kept this game scoreless.
Giveaway over to Mizu. Blaze puts it right back to him, and he will drill that. Mizu patient in the midfield again, as this one just a textbook goal.
Race in such a bad spot thanks to Blaze's weak touch. Off the back wall, defensive mistakes not going to help your cause whatsoever. I think another area of this series that Empire's excelled in is the mistake game. They have made very much fewer mistakes than SCG, and when SCGs come out, they have gone punished. A quick Empire side to rotate in and 4 goals, minute gone. SCG, they have been put in a difficult position to come back from, not just in terms of the scoreline, but mental game really swinging in Empire's favor.
And Race gonna try and get something done here off the ceiling. 50 out in front. Aviator can't get it. The berry as Mazo hammers it out of the zone. And we've seen Short Circuit with a lot of good chances right up close, but the defense from Empire has been able to answer.
Has having to play a bit of defense here. Very awkward as Mizu, but still comes down, gets a touch. Aviator's rebound blocked by Mazo. Blaze steps in, put it center for Race, but they couldn't commit. Too many players of that green coloring in the corner. And so Empire to clear off the back wall. Blaze a miss. Mizu shot actually off target. Bit of a surprise there. Empire usually very clinical from that position. They'll still get another shot on target, though saved by SCG. Still a 1-0 lead.
And Aviator, that poor guy Mazo has been his kryptonite here tonight. 3 saves on very point-blank shot to the center, down to Crave. Aviator makes the save. Crave right back out in front. Mizu pre-jumps it, but misses. Now a chance the other way for Short Circuit. Blaze, Aviator, far side, looking for the bump. Takes the shot, and that one cut off by Crave, as Mazo will put this one up towards the midfield line.
CG right now keeping themselves in this game. Their defense has played well enough to hold Empire back. Though, back wall has proven to hold some holes. Empire have exploited, not there though. Race a great touch out to Blaze. And Short Circuit pushing forward. Corner one though by Crave, and then a block to open up the net for Mizu. That shot off target though, a big error going Empire's way, and I complimented their abilities to not make mistakes. Gilthane's, we've seen 2 big ones in offense for Empire in recent times.
And with a 1-0 lead, Empire, there's a lot to try and get back here for Short Circuit. Race off the sidewall. Race double back down in front. Blaze buries it, and we finally get that goal right next to the side of the net.
That is more like what we have seen from SCG all MPL long. The mechanics of Race setting up Blaze for the finish. When they aren't scoring their flip resets and double tap, sometimes the combination of the two, they are setting up goals with those mechanics. And that is how you get yourself back in this series, both physically and mentally. Great setup, great finish. And this very well still could be a 2-2 series after this game ends.
We've seen the challenges get a little more crisp during this game for Short Circuit. Long flick over. Aviator with the answer. Mizu looking to center it back up. Crave in front. That one wide. As Aviator tries to take it out. Mazo 50 along the boards. Race last man makes the save, and Crave tries to follow up in this offense. His running for Empire as Mazo, that third man back. Like I said, Pepik makes that decision to collect the ball, and that is where all of this offensive pressure is really just starting to be generated.
Definitely. Crave doing it again at that midfield line as third man, collecting it, allowing time for Mizu and Mazo to get boost and move forward again. A missed touch by Mizu, though, will invite some green players forward, but Crave, taking it under his wing, will push it into the infield. Mizu a chance to double it, and he very much will. Under 60 to play, and Empire regain their lead.
And again, no challenge as it gets one right out in front of the net. Noticing that space in the midfield where they have time, they go for those air dribble plays to force the defense up every single time. And Race tries to take the 50, 40 seconds left. Short Circuit need a goal, and they need one here as Race right back across. He'll take the hard 50 underneath. Race sticking with it. Race, one man to beat. Crave, last man, takes another 50, and Race almost single-handedly put that one in the net.
Well, I was going to say, SCG just needs to clear at this point, and they found it by way of Race. Great setup. Potentially get this game tied up, but no thanks. Say Crave and Mazda. We like to take that 3-1 series lead, and with that goal, Empire very much is close to doing so.
And you can't really fault Short Circuit there. They needed the goal. They were trying to just double up to get a 50 out in front to just get a favorable position at the end of that game. Aviator shot, looking for the backboard. Crave, a little deflected away. Race takes the touch. Blaze tries to cut it back around, but Mizu, a great challenge up over top. And Aviator, in the waning seconds, will just put it down to mid, and Empire again have looked extremely good in the possession game.
Fourth game, very similar to the third in that regard. Gilthane's midfield control is the name of the game for Empire. The first time I saw them tonight against Team Meteor, it was all about solid defense. Here, they're not having to play too much of it, but when they are, it is solid. Their offense on the field a lot more, however, putting up 13 shots. Are you kidding me? Short Circuit, such a hard time to score goals when you are playing so much on your back line.
But credit to Short Circuit making the adjustments to keep themselves in these games, in this series. Have been able to get a lot more shots on net than those previous games, and starting to kind of figure out some of these passing routes. They're getting more aggressive with their challenges, and it's just to be about balancing some of that against some of the defensive rotations that they've had and some of the Empire looks that they're getting from that midfield.
Definitely. They need to find some way to combat those midfield plays, because Empire players at the moment seem to know exactly when to slow things down, buy time for their squad mates, or speed things up, look for a quick pass into the center of the field. And right now, Short Circuit don't have too much in the way of an answer for that. They will need to find some soon, as the gauntlet has been thrown down. SCG getting 3 straight wins. You get a rematch with Reign in the grand finals, and it all starts with plays like that. Shut down Empire as quickly as you can and turn that shutdown into a clear.
And Crave has been so good about that, so methodical with where he kind of puts the ball, makes so his team has the best position to kind of go and get it with some of these 50s, with some of these, kind of open space balls in midfield. And that's why that spacing has been so important for Empire, because they can kind of play around with it and then start taking that boost advantage.
Well, Mazu was just kind of lingering. He was beaten, but had he gotten a touch on that, Crave and Mizu were in position to take it away. Here I am talking about Empire Esports, though, when Blaze is on the board first for SCG.
Aviator, great play along the wall. He notices that the defense kind of caught napping on the back foot there, and Blaze, a critical goal for Short Circuit. They needed that first one instead of playing from behind. Now Aviator looking to add another one to it. Blaze tries to go under Crave, but the 50 comes back to Aviator, takes the shot, looking for the bump, and Blaze creates the smoke screen, and Aviator gets the goal.
These were a pair of much-needed goals to just stop the bleeding. In the last 3 games before these 2 goals happened, Short Circuit had been outscored 12-2 if you discount that garbage time own goal by Empire in game number 5. Gil, we might see the resurgence of our SCG boys. This could be the start that propels them to a couple of wins in a row. We'll see, though, as Empire have found ways to battle back all evening long.
And I was looking for Aviator to be that difference maker. This man has been on the team a long time. He's provided a veteran presence, but speaking of veteran, Mazo on the other side of the pitch, what a goal.
That was absolutely insane, Mazo. My word, did he just take that ball and do magic with it. Must be a wizard here on Wasteland, and it gets one back for Empire Esports. Just when you thought Short Circuit Gaming was turning that corner, Empire walks them back about 5 steps and will force them to work for that insurance goal again, and work they will. Race pop up for Blaze. Oh, the defense gets in the way.
And the defense from the side of Empire, their backboard presence has been especially well known already. Mizu grabs the boost, waits for the 50 against Race as he plays it back down. Dangerous ball out in front of his own net, and Mazo tried to capitalize. Blaze a nice touch to mid, and Race, big fake. He's trying to take this one to corner and will calmly play that one out against the 3v1.
Brave to slow things down, try and flick it out, but Blaze with a quick attack. Now a centering chance. Leaves it alone. I don't know if that was an intentional miss on the back wall. It very well could be. These players very crafty when it comes to setting up teammates in the infield. No Crave off the back wall. Wasn't too crafty about that. Ran out of boost, but Mazo still set up for a shot. That ball might be going in off the own goal. Disaster for Short Circuit on their back line as two collide and put it home themselves.
Little Jedi mind trick on the field as Blaze somehow just got a piece of that right back into the defender, and in it goes. And just like that, we have a tie game, Bepic. 3 minutes still left on the clock as Mizu takes this one up. Aviator last man, this one over the top of him. Mizu, perfect center, and Blaze answers back with a meteor of his own.
Just when you thought Circuit Gaming on their way back, the lead turned from 2 to 1, now to 0, and Empire turning defense into offense now. It's a good beat, though, by Race. There is a second man from Empire Esports, however, from that midfield line, and Crave, second man this time around. Now Mazo chasing the rock into the corner. Put the ball into the green box momentarily. Right back we go, straight down. Mazo a chance, and he'll put it in! Empire with the lead with 2 on the clock.
And this is just that second man just being that much faster. Mazo gets a millimeter of a touch over Aviator, springing that 50 in front of the net. And that was 3 consecutive plays where their player was able to beat them in that offensive zone. And Blaze trying to get an open net here. Back passes Race. Aviator backs off. Crave hops back in off the side while Crave, big dunk. Mazo tries to get the angle, and Aviator has been a backboard presence on that line for Short Circuit. And with 1 minute and 48 seconds left, still looking for that equalizer.
Look at that play right there. Short Circuit could not move up to anticipate the miss in the corner because of how much respect Empire has been commanding from those positions all series long. They usually touch those, and the one time they don't, Short Circuit not there to punish. And so Empire granted more time with the ball in that green end, and they will do wonders with it. Under 90 seconds left. SCG needing just 1, make it 2. Crave gets insurance late for Empire Esports.
Ooh, Crave. What a goal there. It just kind of slowed it up just enough to get it over the top of Aviator. He had kind of clanged that one right into his car. It was going to go the other way. And these players so good at realizing the spacing on the cars, the timing that they need for some of these shots. It just constantly amazes me sometimes, Pepe.
They have incredible reads on the game and know exactly when to strike and gain space and just about do everything perfectly, which is pretty close to where Empire has been. To take down Short Circuit Gaming, you have to play a phenomenal series, and Empire most certainly has. Though, hold on just a second. I was talking like this game and this series were about over, but Aviator says, shut up, Mr. Bepic. I'm going to strike one back, and under 1 minute left, Gil, Short Circuit could have just come alive again.
It's going to be about challenging. Watch for them to get aggressive. And if there's any other player in this MPL league that can get aggressive like that, it is definitely Blaze and Aviator. Mizu to the backboard. Aviator going to wait on it. Looks for the second touch. Forces the 50 to the far side. Crave up. Blaze going to wait. He'll take a hit down, and he'll make him pay with his life. Race gets a touch up. This one smacked down by Crave. That one going to be on net, and Crave finds the angle, and with 30 seconds left, gets that 2-goal cushion right back.
Weird plays like that in defense from Short Circuit have cost them all night long. That one going to cost them dearly. Could cost them the series, as the insurance policy has been reinstated for Empire Esports. 30 seconds on the clock. They just have to waste it well, and this series is theirs. A potential first-place finish is theirs. But Gilthane, Short Circuit, never really out of a series until that clock says triple zeros.
And that is a fact that a lot of these teams have learned all too well. Mazo, feed over to Mizu, trying to kill the clock. 10 seconds left, goes for the flip reset. 3 players up in the air for Empire. A Short Circuit come back around. Dime down to Race, broken up by Crave. And with 1 second left on the clock, it's looking like Empire will advance to play Rain.
I'm thinking you might be right there, Gilthanes. What a run from Empire Esports. They were knocked down into the losers bracket after playing Short Circuit Gaming through 7 games up in the upper semifinals. They have battled back here, a best of 3, a best of 5, and now a best of 7 win for the streaking Mizu, Mazo, and Crave. Rain, hope you were watching this and taking notes, because Gilthanes, Empire looks so good in that set.
Oh my, and this sets the stage for a wonderful grand finals. I expect those to be like about a 10-goal average set of games, so it'll be interesting because both of these teams that are heading into the grand finals are just so highly offensively powered. Empire in that series, we talked about how their goal differential between these two were what, 12-2 at one point, correct?
It was, yeah. The Short Circuit was outscored by a large margin across games 2 through 4, but Aviator and company battled their way back to at least make it close in game 5. It wasn't enough though. Empire, though their defense was what got them to this point through Team Meteor and Untamed Esports, it was their offense that came alive against Short Circuit, and Rain has a tough task ahead of them.
And Short Circuit, the regular season champions, it's a little bit of a bitter pill to swallow for them, but they played extremely well in that series. You know, hats off to them because they were able to kind of stifle that offense for a little bit, just weren't able to get their offense started on the other side of the field. The defensive possession when that third man rotated back really caused them a lot of problems here tonight. And I'm kind of eager to see how Rain will deal with that particular rotation because, you know, they play a very, very heavy-handed offensive style as well. And it'll be an interesting matchup, to say the least, Pepek.
I completely agree, and we'll get some answers to our caster questions in just a little bit. One last break, then one last series for the Melon Patch League Season 1 presented by Prestige Esports. None of you better leave your chairs unless you're going to get snacks or a drink or something and sitting right back down immediately after that, because Rain Esports versus Empire Esports coming up, a best of 9 in just a little bit.
We'll be driving down the state, yeah. Looking around for the next crowd, yeah. Going our own way, trying to find a new route, yeah. We'll be going in circles, trying to find a way, searching for the things we do, yeah. Dropped out without a choice, yeah. Hair blown round to the window, singing stupid noise through you. I just wanna get to know ya. I wanna go far to the coast, yeah. I wanna drive fast to the ocean. I wanna know all of you. Growing old like a ghost, yeah. I wanna have kids of my own, yeah. Live a life till it's over. But until we do, it's sleeping soon. Yeah, I'm feeling a little crazy. Sat at home being lazy. Wanna travel till I'm 80, flying with you. Wanna take on the world and do something. Would you by my side like it's nothing?
Best of 9 incoming Gilthanes. This is going to be the longest series I've ever casted. I don't know about you, but I think Rain Esports versus Empire Esports, that's going to do it some justice.
I think it will as well, and the player I want to focus on is Carve. This man has been,
oh yeah,
by far and away the best player in playoffs thus far, and it's not even close. This man has just absolutely become a new being, gone Ultra Instinct, whatever reference you guys want to make to it, he's definitely done it, and this man is somebody to be feared on the offensive side of the ball.
He has been Superman on the back line as well. Earlier against SCG, I think he had a Savior medal, and I had probably 3 of the 4 games they played, if not all 4. Save after save. Rain sat back and took a beating on their back lines until they slowly ramped up towards the end, but they were outshot in the first 2 games, still managed to win them thanks to the heroics of Carved and company on the back line. Sato did his fair share as well, and so did Kinley. But this is going to be a battle of 2 offenses, I think. The defense is going to play solid regardless. It's about who can come out swinging the hardest.
Yeah, and Carved and Sato have a great connection, just like Mizu and Mazo on the offensive side of the ball for Empire. So like I said, it's going to be a high-octane game. I expect no less than about 10 goals during each of these games during the course of this best-of-9 series. And guys, get ready. This is for the MPL Grand Finals, and the winner will walk home a champion here tonight.
1 game in the back pocket of Rain already. He'll be pleased about that, but momentum tends to reset these kinds of series. That 1 game might not mean too much. Empire can keep what they got going in that last series in this one here. Slow to start Gilthanes, a couple of misses until now. That shot is a little bit off, but Empire will start off in the offensive zone.
And both teams trying to stretch the field a little bit here with their clears, just kind of going straight north and south, trying to catch somebody in transition. Mazo. The lead pass up to Crave, and that second man coming in quick again. Crave takes the shot to the far side. Kinley, they scoop it up and met by Mizu. And that rotation already starting from Empire, and it's going to be up to Sato to break it out.
Break it out they will. Pass over to Carr. Not quite going to be the result I think Rain was looking for. At least another shot for Empire. Mazo stepping in. Tried to beat all 3 defenders. Could not get past the first. That pass over. Also, not beat anyone. Carved a huge stop in the infield of his own defensive zone. Will be rewarded with a goal on the other end to start off this Grand Finals.
We talked about how this man is going to be a factor. How about that? The first goal of this series in Grand Finals goes to Carved. And a 1-0 lead for Rain. Like you said, do have that 1-game advantage from coming up from the winner's bracket. Sato, last man on the line. Crave fakes the touch and gets it in. What a play coming out of Crave.
Maybe some more of that, Empire. That was gorgeous. Mazo up front, getting the demo, and then Crave's flick. Tough to be stopped just in the first place. Sato would have had a difficult time should his car have remained intact. Empire will equalize quickly. Great response to keep things even. make sure that Reign have to work if they are to take a 2-0 series lead to start us off.
Dangerous ball down in front. 50 comes out, and a big save from Crave as he dunks it back down in front, and Mazo gets the clear. Kinley looking for the infield pass over to Carve. To the backboard, Mizu able to deflect it out. He'll leave it for Sato. Sato looking for the center of his zone. Carved. He's trying to get a crazy angle. Crave not going to let him as he is bullied off the ball to corner. Flick back down through mid. Carved to the backboard again. Trying to get some of these high passes, hoping that player can get there, but the backboard from defense from Empire has stood strong.
As it has all night, though that, of course, as you say, that is a miss from Mazo. Doesn't result in any kind of punishment. And Kinley with an incidental touch backwards. I'm sure they would rather have put that in the forwards direction. Doesn't matter, though. Sato a chance here to flick it and tries to go under him. But touch is made. Empire's defense holding strong, and it seems like we're playing turn-based Rocket League at the moment, Gil Thames, where to start us off, it was Empire with the majority of the possession and Reign having to hit on the counter. Now, it's Reign with the majority of the possession, with Empire trying to use those counterattacks to get a goal on the board. That's the halfway point. We'll see if this persists.
And it's one-touch defensive clears that they're just trying to chase down. And both these teams trying to employ it. Again, just trying to get some of these transition goals because they know their players are so good in the midfield. They're so good about getting up for the ball. And Mizu, again, these high clears off the sidewall have been their bread and butter. And it's looking like they're going to try and continue it here in Grand Finals.
Oh, Brave not going to find an extra touch there. He'll still get to touch the ball a couple more times in the corners. It came back to him. A good win by Carve, taking one Empire player out of the way. Pass over to Sato, cut out by Crave. Kinling going to step in, but two did Mizu and won that ball clean. Just above 100 seconds now at that exact mark. They're still tied with both midfield games of either side holding strong. Gil things. No one has a real control of the ball at the moment, I would say.
And Reign might be better served trying to keep it a little lower because these guys are so good on the backboards. For Empire, Carved almost gets a dunk right down in front. 50 to the line. Mazo with some speed. Flicks it, and Sato with the big save. Kinley up for it. Deflected away by Mizu. Big bump in midfield. Mizu trying to go down the line. Carved able to turn it across and use that width of the field to just buy a second.
Solid clear from Reign. Not playing too much defense as of late now that midfield battle has settled down. Under a minute to play. That definitely does favor them. Already up in the series, but Empire a chance to tie here. Ball just floating in the midfield. Mizu takes it away into the corner with a combination with Sato. Crave are battling too. Kinley wins that outright. Works as a clearance for Reign to make Empire work from their back end. That white side of the field seeing a bit of action. And Empire's defense forcing things out to the side out of danger. Under 30 to play.
Reign doing a good job controlling some of the boost in Empire's defensive zone. We saw a lot of their players low on boost, and a quick shot from Kinley, able to find the lead.
Well, that was a bit unexpected. I didn't see it coming. I looked away for a second. Mazo definitely didn't see it coming as they crept out way too far from that near post position, not thinking something was going to be coming from the battle that was being waged at the side wall. That could be a 2-0 series lead for Reign, but the players went for that ball. Empire been clinical when it comes to punishing mistakes all night long, but Reign take it away from them. Look to maybe even add one in addition to wasting time.
Carved last man, 4 seconds left. This one goes down to Crave, and a long clear, a bullet as Mazo. One last rush for him up the side. Well, not much boost to follow as it's a dunk down from Kinley, and Reign will take the game.
2-1. It was not very flashy from either side, but it was solid from both, I would say. The defenses played well. The offenses had to work hard to both gain possession and score goals. Empire held to just 4 shots. Mazo didn't even register one, so the shocking stat line there. Fair play. Reign Esports continuing their hot streak. That's now, I believe, 5 straight games won for them on the night.
And Reign did a good job kind of slowing it up. I talked about how they were able to grab some of that boost on the defensive side from Empire, and it really kind of slowed up their rotation just enough where they were able to get some of these shots on their volume, increase this game as well. And Reign Esports made it happen with that Kinley goal at the last at that last juncture as well. and that was due in large in part to the fact that they really didn't have boost. They were trying to creep out on the save.
This has become a battle of the midfield in large part. Rain won it towards the end of that game, and it netted them the second and go-ahead goal. That first one they got from their defensive end. So you play solid in your back line, and that leads to a win in the midfield, then these games should be yours. But it stands, Empire all task ahead of them. Rain still needing 3 games, one in their back pocket to take this grand finals, but they're definitely starting off on the right foot.
And Rain, deflection off the backboard, carved. He's going to try and bring it along. He'll just hammer it to the corner. Chases his own rebound with 0 boost as Mizu tries to deflect it out. He'll take a nice 50. Mazo looking for the center. Back off the boards. Carved, able to just disrupt it just enough to prevent the shot.
Empire's pushing. This is how they started the last game in the offensive end. Be careful not to give one away to Rain this time around, though. Great control from Mazo, though. Ball right into Sato's open arms. Mizu having a battle. Aforementioned Rain player in the corner, and say Rain won that as Carv was awaiting in the other end of the field to receive. Kinley moves forward, looks for a bump, opening the way for Sato. Now Carv stepping into a vacant infield. It's denied by Mazo. Great defense. It was sketchy defense from Empire as they went corner to corner and lost a couple of consecutive challenges, Gilthanes, but they worked their way out and they're back into the offensive zone.
And Carv was fearless on that 50. He knew that was going to rebound back towards his net. Ended up just trying to go full bore for it anyway as Mizu. Perfect pass out to Mazo. Kinley looking for the challenge, but it's flicked to the side. Mazo, tough 50 along the boards. Mizu comes right back in. Crave on the backboard. He's trying to send this one up. Looks to dime it down and carved a perfect read, but Mizu right back. Mazo, quick deflection, and that one just wide. And now Empire, short side, pinch, back out in front. Sato deflection, and it's all around, but it still has not gone in.
We'll talk sketchy defense. Talk about Rain right now. Somehow hanging on. That was a phenomenal setup from Crave, but denied at the very last second by Kinley. Now Mizu unable to find a second touch and put that ball on target. Mazo's turn. 70 boost in the tank to carry it. Netward trying to go under Carve. Cannot. So many saves in such a short period of time for Rain Esports. It's kept this game tied, and they will finally be rewarded for their efforts with a clear out and a shot on target.
And that's what they desperately needed. Defense standing strong on the line, and Alabite a little bit sloppy from Rain as their rotation still holds it together. Now Mazo, little breakaway downfield, a pre-jump on the wall. Kinley, great defensive stop as he is able to push this one along the wall.
Now Empire picking up right where they left off on that Rain end. Boys in green having to do a lot of work on their back line, but that's something they excelled at in the series earlier tonight against SCG. Won them best of 7, I would say. And Empire having the same kind of difficulties that the Short Circuit boys were. They just can't break the plane of that green net. It's so difficult to work enough Rain players out of position and put a shot home, though Empire Esports, their goose egg on the board has not been for lack of trying.
And try to catch him in transition. Crave makes a great save on the backboard. Trying to pinch it down along the sides. He's given a little space. He'll take the center over to Mizu, right on the money, and he can't give this man any kind of space as Crave sets up the play.
Finally, an ever so slight mistake from Rain. Not committing for that ball was Carver. They were just clean beaten to it and decided it would be best not to go. And Sato left in a difficult position. Back to the play, face towards the net. Difficult to make saves when your car is oriented that way. Now Empire got one. They're hungry for more. Mizu inbound. Save, though, made by Carved.
What a save from Carve. This man flipped his car underneath and still got a piece as Crave forces a 50. Gets the second touch as Carve was right underneath that ball. What a play. Tries to come back around. Misses it as Mazo, I believe, got a touch on him. Carve looked for the center, right on Sato. Can't put it on net either. And now just a shooting gallery. Alabite just wide.
Couple of missed looks for Rain that could come back to haunt them, especially with Mazo moving forward with his pace. Mizu the same. Oh, Rain able to separate ball and white car when transition. Hunt for that first. 40 seconds on the clock here. Mizu to waste time out of the corner. Kinley wants a quick out of defense. They will not find it. Sato the same. Carve moving forward. And will stick with this play. Very slow outs for Rain. Not what you want to see if you are a fan of theirs in this 30-second period at the end of game number 3. The grand finals. Gilthane's Empire controlling the midfield line quite well.
They've done a good job limiting the boost. Again, the boost management has been a big factor in this game as they have the lead. Sato tries to center it back up. 2 players on the backboard. Crave knocks it down. Mazo kept alive by Kinley. Mizu, big air dribble to just kill the rest of the time. He's looking for one more, and he gets it. Mizu, a big dunk.
That was not just the game-sealing air dribble, but it turned into a highlight reel play. Mizu has hit a couple like those tonight. I can remember. Empire Esports storming back in an emphatic manner. Great control of possession, and then when called upon, their defense stood the test of the 4 shots of Rain Esports. But check out that stat. 8 shots to Mizu's name for a total of 13 on Empire's side.
And they were everywhere trying to get that one in on net. There was a lot of quick chances. Rain Esports defense standing strong with 7 saves, especially in that minute and a half of offense where they're just kind of throwing a barrage at the net. And Empire will dig out a very tough victory to try and even the series out, as it's now 2-1 still in Rain's favor.
That was a grind, though. Empire really had to work for that one goal, and of course the second one, though Mizu made it look effortless at the tail end of Game 3. Though if Rain can keep that defensive performance up and then kind of turn it into more possession, as they could not in the previous game, then we will see this series over very quickly, because they made save after save, just couldn't quite turn it into shots on the Empire goal. See what happens here, as chance for Carve to set up some early possession for Rain about 15 seconds in.
We haven't seen a lot of mechanical play out of Carve through these games quite yet, and that is a big boon for the side of Empire, because they've been controlling the ball. We talk about ball possession and field possession quite a bit in Rocket League. Crave trying to get a cheeky goal as he deflects it back around. And the majority of the ball control has been in Empire's hands tonight. We looked at their rotation. We talked about how these guys like to take it high on those sidewalls and just try and follow with some of these deflections in. Mazo, big center, and Crave just hammers it home. What a play out of Empire.
They didn't need a minute and a half of offense to get this one. They just needed a sick passing play. Crave was up in the air to receive that pass. When it was on the ground, they are moving with such pace. Empire on the board for first, using the momentum gained in game number 3 to tie this series up, but still a lot of Rocket League left to play.
Carved. Uncharacteristic miss. Sets up the play instead. No. Kinley put it right on his hood, and Carved just a little bit off as it hit the post. Big centering pass. Mazo able to break it up open net to shoot at. Sato puts it a little high with the follow-up to the backboard. Mizu dunked back down as the third man will come in. Carved. Solo play. Looking for those mechanics as Kinley back around. He has the flip reset, and Mizu will not let him use it as this one hammered to the line.
Nice from Rain. They aren't in back nearly as much throughout the first minute or so as they were in the previous game. In fact, they've had control for the last 30 seconds. Empire struggling to clear the zone. So Crave, of course, once they take over, they can most certainly turn a quick transition into a goal for Empire Esports. Not going to be the case there. Carved leading the way, continuing their MVP performance on this this second day of the MPL League playoffs. Minutes gone, still just the one on the board for Empire, though not for the lack of trying on the side of Rain.
And Carved looking to get a center here as it's off the backboard. Carved has been looking to be that facilitator. He's done that in the playoffs thus far. Like I said, by far and away, probably the best playoff performer right now. Arguably in the Melon Patch League. Crave come back down. Mazo on that far side. Tries to feed it over the top as Kinley gets a touch. Mazo, big center and Carved. Deflected along the wall. Sato able to clear it out. And they will look to get some offense generated here with 2.5 minutes left. Still looking for that equalizer.
Mazo could find an extender of the lead. Nothing doing. Crave blocked at the very last second. Rain to spread a bit thin. That leads to an awkward ball for Carved, but they'll buy time for Kinley to pass out to Sato. No, it's actually Carved that receives Kinley's touch as they were low on the boost funds. Clearance out, shot on, but deflected early. Doesn't even register as one on target. Now Sato towards the net. That one does register as a shot on target. That's Rocket League stats for you. But Rain, I can tell you for certain, they're leading the possession stat right now in the last 20 seconds or so. Keep it going, but Mazo said no thank you. We are back to that methodical back and forth where no one has really amped up the pace, and it's slow and really a lot of thinking being done, especially in transition. That was no good though, Gil.
Oh, what a save from Mizu on the back end. I'm not sure if you saw that. He pre-jumped by reversing off the wall and then musty flicked it for that clear. And Crave trying to get back to it. Bumped along the wall. Mizu cuts back in. Sato not going to be able to get up in time. Kinley, a big save. Crave tries to cut back around. Air dribble. Crave knocks it into his own net. As Carved got a piece of it, but just not enough.
What a play from the corner by Crave, forcing that own goal, but more importantly, forcing his way through 3 Rain defenders. Their defense, not easy to crack, as we saw in the last game and the last series that Rain played in, but Crave doing it all himself, and now Empire, a big second goal in this slow-scoring series so far. No team has hit that 3-goal mark in a game just yet. Empire very well could here, as got the offensive momentum to do just that. Really not going to allow it, as there still is very much a chance Rain makes this comeback happen.
Mazo looking for another feed to the inside, and again, it's kind of rearing its head. Mazo, what a deflection as he puts it in, and that may just be the dagger. 35 seconds left. Mazo with a absolutely nutty deflection off the ceiling there.
That is so hard to do, but again, an Empire Esports player makes the difficult look easy. Mizu with that double in the last game, and now Mazo, that redirection. Mizu again looking for something special. Will die out as they take the ball into the corner, but Rain needs some offense right here, right now, where they will have this series tied up on them. And again, it's a long one. This is a best of 9 for those that are just joining us for this grand finals. Plenty of time for Rain to make adjustments, but as it stands, Empire with the majority of the momentum and the good feels on their side.
And just for a sense of parity, we get an own goal from the other side as well. So balance in all things, as Sato just forces a nice 50 along the boards. Mizo putting that in. And with 5 seconds left, it's looking like this series will be tied up at 2 apiece. And great adjustments again by Empire. They're so good about recognizing how much field space they can take whenever they have possession of the ball. As that one, almost a dunk down from Carved. And Empire able to tie it up at 2-all.
Sorry, I interrupted your point there about the space that Empire Esports took in that game, and you're 100% right. They, again, had their way with the midfield line and put up 9 shots. As a result, 3 goals in, 33% shooting. That is a pretty good turnover rates for a team playing in the grand finals. Rain going to have some adjustments to make to combat all the space that Empire are creating for themselves and being given.
And we saw it in that first goal where Crave took possession at the midfield line. Nobody challenged him. He immediately flicked the pass over to Mazo, and it was just a goal as he dimed him up. So definitely going to have to challenge them kind of at the point of attack, making sure they can't get as much possession as they have been able to get. And Carved going to need to get his offense going here. Kinley looking for the 50. Mizu off the backboard. Mazo right back around. Carved able to knock it down. Centering feed. Sato, a great read as he just deflects it off the side.
But it won't matter too much in the way of clearances as that comes back to Mazo going for the back wall read. It's on target. Great shot, but Sato makes the save, and then on the rebound, Carved gets in the way. Now pulling up that side wall. Mizu pass attempt, but shut down by Carved. Rain getting in the way, not allowing Empire Esports with this possession create quality looks, although creating some of his own. Again, shut down Playing good defense so far, and now rewarded with a chance on the ball.
It's an air dribble
no,
bump.
what?
It goes back in, and the own goals continue as Carved gets a goal.
That one a bit more egregious, though, by Empire. The own goal in the last game was in garbage time. This one very much a tone setter for Game 5. I can't believe that just happened on Empire's back line, where they have looked so good, so clinical all night long. They have not played a mistake-ridden defensive rotation at all. Well, just then, get it in. Thanks for first.
Mizu, midfield line, he'll hamper that clear. Mazo looking for that demo downfield. Crave gets the deflection off the backboard. Not able to bury it as Carved down the sideline. Mizu up on his own backboard. Lets this one drop as he'll pinch it along. And Kinley able to keep it in the zone. But dangerous hours, dangerous clears from the side of Empire early. But they get the touch, and Mazo has just been a force on offense.
Dangerous players in the offensive end. Talk about the pass from Crave. A pinch off the side wall, diming Mazo up perfectly. That is a read you want Mazo taking 10 times out of 10, because they hit those about 10 times out of 10, it seems like, at least. A minute 30 gone, and we finally might have that shootout that you and I were expecting between these two sides. Both are so talented offensively, but have had a heavy focus on defense, and that is why Mizu, big save to keep this game level.
Oh my, just the crispness of these rotations from Empire. A big save from Mizu, barely able to get to it, but that is just the recognition of the players to give them that kind of that respect on space. Kinley, a big shot. That one back out in front of Carved. Will put in a goal to go ahead.
And Rain, the team to strike back first. Great setup by Kinley. Great save by Mizu as well. But those shots that force out incredible saves typically have follow-ups that are just as good. And Rain showing us why you put tough-to-save shots on target. They'll take their lead right back. Mazo wants one off the back wall. Carved has it covered. Can't let him have an empty back wall because he has shown us time after time why. Mizu, however, a bit too open out of the corner.
I've said it once, I'm going to say it again. High off the side walls has been the bread and butter of this Empire Esports roster. These shots just kind of arcing down. They take those angles to allow the defense to kind of get flat-footed. They're wasting their boost. They're forcing them to kind of change the angle of their car every single time they try and put some of those shots up. And Mazo looking for another air dribble straight down the gut. Looks for that 50 as Carve able to deflect it away from him. Pile up in front as Crave going to let Mizu handle it along the wall. Looks for the 50 of his own as Sato just going to fall back down with it. Crave down across the front of the net. This one right to Mazo. Quick shot. Kinley with the save. Mizu with the follow-up. And Empire will not be denied as they snatch the lead back.
Back and forth. Just like a pendulum, these two teams going into combat. Another phenomenal shot setting up a rebound chance for their team. Empire with a lead just past the halfway point. And it seems like whoever has possession of the ball is going to be scoring Gilthanes. The offenses have finally found holes in the defenses of their opposition. We are seeing that shootout.
And this is what I wanted to see, that 5-goal minimum to get in as Crave takes the 50 back down to the line. Mazo looking for Crave, another center. Back down. He almost gets a second touch as Sato will dunk it underneath him. Sato puts on the moves. Sato, backboard. Mazo with the read back down to Kinley. The 50 all the way across. And with 2 minutes left, this Rain Esports looking for that equalizer. A dangerous pass down in front that Crave able to grab up, and Kinley able to bail his team out with a defensive clear.
Trying to look to extend. We have come upon a crucial moment in this series, I think. This is a swing game 5. Empire win this one. They've won 3 straight. They do have the lead. They're in a good position to do that, but Rain is slowly inching their way forward, gaining more and more control of the ball. Though, a bit too much space given to Empire. Fortunately, Kinley has that midfield line covered. Crave steps in, sets up Mazo for a shot. It's off target. Carve back past to Sato. Whatever works for Rain to get out of defense because they need a goal in the next 60 seconds.
Oh man, these guys getting a little risky with their defensive clears. In with the Shamrock Shake on the back line as Sato comes back across. Kinley looks off the ball as Crave did have the angle already. Kinley, that's this one.
Oh no.
Big miss out in front. Mazo can't get the shot away as he was trying to get a ground pin since he'd already pre-jumped. Crave trying to follow it through. Sato back down to corner with 30 seconds left. Rain need to get back downfield. He'll wait. Take the boost instead. The 50 goes all the way to the opposite corner. Kinley looking for the center. Drop back down. Sato, long, booming clear as he'll try and chase it. And Mazo, a great clear out that will find the net. And he will potentially put the dagger in.
That's not an offensive goal, but it's a great read nonetheless from their own half. Empire Esports sending one long and catching out an aggressive Rain team. That's like in hockey when the opposition pulls their net to try and get one back late in the game to potentially equalize or just find something in the way of a comeback goal, and the opposite side puts in the open net. That will be a 3-2 lead in the series for Empire Esports. 5 is the tally to gain in order to win this grand final, so still needing 2 more, but Rain Esports, a bit of a downturn for them here.
And again, it's just that offense being fired up from Empire. When they take possession, they immediately go to the sides of the field. They try and get it up the wall and look for some shots, look for some centers that they can follow through with that second man, because ultimately they're gaining the boost advantage. They're getting that second man in there just that much quicker, and they're generating a ton of offense around it as we look at the shot totals. 13 for Empire in this game.
And they have outshot Rain in their last 3 games. Unsurprisingly, they have won that midfield battle, turned it into more offense, more looks on net, and they've won the game subsequently. So, adjustments necessary for Rain. They need to take back control. I mean, these two teams playing similar styles of Rocket League where they look to win that battle at the center line. Empire just doing it a little bit better, and they're shooting just a little bit more accurate, and those little bits can turn into lots of advantages for the team that is winning those areas of the game, and right now it's Empire.
And Rain gonna need to get some aggression in there at some point. I feel like they're respecting a lot to Empire, but maybe just respecting a little too much as they have peeled off some of these balls that they could have gone for some 50-50s for. Mizu, air dribble, looking for the dunk, waterfall back down as Sato chases it down to corner. Crave met by Carve. Good touch by Carve, trying to get back downfield. He'll follow it through. Big center in front. Kinley gets the 50. Sato a little too far away, and Mazo will let Mizu handle it, but kept in by Rain Esports, starting to get some of these shots on.
Oh, but then Empire finds the clearance into space where there are no green cars waiting to receive the clear. Finally, though, Rain, after just a second, puts one back on net. And there is another hefty clear. Empire have smelled an advantage while they were stuck on their defensive end, and they have taken it. Rain losing control of the possession game, trying to keep it in. This 50, very telling as to how the next 30 seconds, I think, will go. And it's won by Empire. We'll see if they can set up a chance for their own. They very much will. That's the opener. And that 50 at the midfield line, won outright by Crave, is what I think scores the first for Empire.
And that was the good team communication. They knew that Kinley was on 0 boost. He tried to 50 it in the corner, and smart play once again, kind of slowing it up, allowing their teammates to get in that positioning to take full advantage of that second man rotating in.
Now Rain look to fight from behind once more. Behind in the game, behind in the series. What do they have in store for us playing from a deficit? Mizu to the side wall. Carve will cut that opportunity out. Now Crave slowing things down out of their own corner, dribbling and get through Sato to that back wall, covered up by Mizu. Back pass, the aforementioned Empire player, but Rain's taking advantage of this slow-playing Empire team. These clearances not finding open space, but green cars. Sato flip reset, no in particular. Actually, Carve stepped up there, took a shot. Empire, big save, keeping their 1-goal lead intact.
Slow, methodical play starting to yield some fruit here as the dunk on the backboard by Mizu, all that kept that shot out from Sato. Carve, 50 down in front, tried to hit Kinley. Sato, last man for a second. Mazo dunked down to Crave, met by Carved again, trying to go for these solo plays. Carved back down to 2 players on the backboard at all times for this Empire Esports roster.
Rain might need a change-up of some sort on the offensive end. We look for more demos to thin out the back line of Empire Esports. There's a demo. Yeah, I like that they're listening, but that's on the wrong side of the pitch. Will allow the transition to come through a bit easier for Rain, and also going to break that backwards rule 1. Don't blame him. Grand finals. This is a big moment for Empire. Don't want to chance it in a 2v2, but halfway point reached of game number 6, and Rain in dangerous positions. Dangerous of losing the 1-goal lead they're trying to fight back into.
They've done such a good job about clearing out the zone. This Empire Esports roster not allowing a lot of big giveaway transitions as Carved tried to get one himself there. Crave blocks it along the wall again. Center back down. Sato, good touch as Mizu, awkward in positioning, still gets the touch out. And those mechanics have been a saving grace in some of these defensive scenarios.
That is where, when you're playing a super defensive game of Rocket League, you can find a lot of freedom to move, and mechanics will grant you the space, sometimes solid transitions into goal. Though it's not what Empire are finding right now. These passes are being cut out. Their attempted clearances to space being controlled by Rain. Oh, Rain just can't get over that last hump in this offensive. The Empire Esports defense too hefty at the moment, and there's the aforementioned transition goal. What a play for Empire to make it a 2-0 lead.
Good team of communication again. 3 Empire teammates all getting the ball clear, catching Rain Esports across that midfield line, and it's just an air dribble away from a open net with 120 left. Mazo gets a nice bump on Sato as he tries to go up the wall. He would have had the boost advantage had that bump not come through. Carved. Good catch. He's trying to use the width of the field to allow his teammates to get set up. But Mazo still the first player on the side. Mazo right back. Tries to take a shot short side. Sato deflected out to Carved. Looking for Sato again. Little tic-tac-toe passing play as they try and set up to the sides of the field. Dunked down by Crave once more.
That miss. Well, actually not going to set up anything for Rain. Sato in the corner, leaving it for Mizu. These passing plays are not connecting for Rain at the moment. It's just touches and then right to an Empire Esports player. Despite all the possession from Rain Esports, there have not been too many threatening looks. They've only gotten 4 shots on target. They're being outshot, in fact, by Empire. It's 5-4 in favor of the boys on the white side of the field, despite all the control that Rain have had in this game. The defense just playing too well, keeping the ball in non-lethal positions. With 15 seconds left, that is still the case, Gilthanes. Rain finding nothing substantial on the white end of the field.
And they're sending numbers, too. 2 players kind of committing for some of these balls, trying to force some of the 50s down low, and it still has not been enough as Kinley Tokyo drifts his way back to that, and Empire will take another game. And they have just looked unstoppable once their offense gets going. Rain was able to limit their shots this game, as we only see 5 coming through for Empire compared to the 13 from last game, but still the game still goes the way of Empire.
And if Empire are to win this grand finals, I think the last couple of games have shown why they are deserving of the title of MPL champions, because they outshot Rain Esports in the last 3 by a hefty margin. Their offense won them those games. This game, their defense won it outright. Rain Esports, I think, had, I'll say, an estimate about 75% of the possession there. Maybe a little bit lower. Maybe I'm just remembering too much play on the white side of the field. But Empire weathered the storm so well. It just looked easy for them to keep the ball into the corners and then find those clearances to space. Even when they couldn't get the clears over the midfield line, they still didn't allow Rain to connect with passing plays or strong shots. That was just solid all the way through on the white back line. And now Empire on tournament point.
And Empire, when they do get those clears as well, their first man is always going to try to kind of hamper whoever is going to take possession of the ball, and that is what has resulted in some of those giveaways where they're able to just regain possession so quickly. And Mazo, back around double demo, has Carved. Gets the hit, double commit along the side while Kinley gets the deflection, but it's still down in front. Mazzo trying to get out of net as Carved will take it along the boards. Carved, centering pass, looking for Sato, connects as he'll fall to the far side. Mazzo immediately starts back downfield. Kinley with a block. Big demo out in front again. Kinley in transition. Mizu, last man as Mazzo spawns. Sato right on the money. Takes the shot short side, and it's off the sidewall. So close as Rain has not able to get that goal.
Whoa, that's a misplay. They finally do get that goal, Gil, thanks to Mizu panicking just a bit right there. Double commit, and he tried to... Well, maybe he tried to roll it up that back wall or just get it into the corner, something. Either way, it didn't work. Kinley punishing that mistake from Empire, and that is the first time in a very long time that I can remember that Rain has scored first.
And Empire, one series point now, up 4-2 in this series as Kinley takes a 50. That one back to Sato, right on the money, but Mizu again able to answer even after getting bumped. And just a testament to the defense that this Empire squad has been able to put in.
So it's a win for Rain, I would say, keeping Empire pinned back this much. And the fact that now they have a goal to show for it is even bigger, because now they can just focus on wasting time. Similar to that last game, of course, they did give up 2 goals in transition and when Empire was able to set up their offense, but Rain is going to limit the opportunities for Empire, and if their defense can play well enough, Rain's that is, and perhaps we find one game back in that green side Camp Gilthanes, but there's a lot of Rocket League left to be played and a lot of defending that I'm sure Empire's going to have to do, and Rain the same, because Empire working their way into the offensive end.
A long shot Carved able to find along the wall. Mazzo right back around. He's looking for a solo play. Gets the flip reset. Kinley will suss that one out as Carved comes back around. Mizu trying to look for Mazzo in the center field. Gets a touch up to Crave. Tries to take the 50 to the far side. And Kinley, once again, has been boost-starved as 2 of the last rotations he's gone to either side at trying to find that big pad. Has found nothing but an Empire player.
Empire have gained themselves a lot of possession in this game. They're now the ones pinning their opposition back, though. A chance to flip the script on them. Carved up to the ceiling, got a flip and a second touch, but it's not too useful as the ball in the corner is controlled by Empire. They'll net themselves a clearance. Again, there was a chance there, Gilthanes, you talked about in the last game where there were some opportunities for Rain to challenge, take a 50 that they shied away from, and Kinley did that in the Empire corner. They're giving too much space and ease of clearance to the boys in white, and perhaps that's a reason why Rain Esports find themselves under the gun here.
And they need to get green. They need to get like Hulk angry with it.
Right.
Off some of these challenges. Crave trying to do it himself. Carved deflects it weak as Mazzo has to take that 50 right back inside. This one, a hodgepodge of players out in front as the rotations are all broken for either side.
All right, Empire, despite the chaos at times, they have remained stoic and remain in the offensive end. Off the ceiling, Carved all alone. Great touch up and out over Crave's head, disallowing the chance for Empire and turning it in to a second now for Rain. We very well still may see a game number 7 as Rain stormed back in game 6.
Capitalizing on any mistake that Empire makes. Rain doing a great job this game of getting downfield, and that first defensive clear is going to be key. Not allowing them to kind of set up in that zone. Carve going for a demo here as well. I like the aggression that I'm seeing out of Rain.
And game 8 is what I meant to say. This is game 7 where Rain have shined. Now in the final minute, look to pad their numbers. Carve sticking with it, drop down. A teammate wasn't going to push up. Don't blame him there. Don't want to give any freebies away to Empire, as we know the pace with which they can score. There's a good clear out to the side. Empire have been nullified. Solid pass out of defense that'll waste more crucial seconds that Empire need to be using to score.
And Sato having a good time challenging the ball now. Him and Kinley have combined for some nice shot. Double commit as Mazzo gets it by both defenders.
And that's the quickness with which Empire can score. Just like that, a passing play forcing a double commit out of Rain's defense. And Mazo, he hits those. 35 now on the clock. Crucial seconds for Rain. This is where you get a little bit shaky. As Empire have some more zeal back on their side. Rain fear they could be dropped into a second place finish for the MPL should they falter late in Game 7.
Carved, trying to do what he has done best during the course of the playoffs and really be the pace setter for his team. Kinley cuts back inside. Nice slow 50 to the sidewall. Crave tries to 50 it out, and he will take possession along the boards. Quickly running down the sideline. Still a chance here. Carved a big save, and he will just clear it all the way down and out, and Rain will get one to go.
That's what I'm talking about, Rain. Fair play, dodging the demo at the very end when it seemed like Empire was destined for an equalizer, then turning it into one more just little statement Empire's way, saying, yep, we won this game by 2 goals. Thank you very much. It wasn't even close. We move into game number 8 of this best of 9. That's what I'm talking about. Great battlebacks game from Rain Esports, and they will continue to push Empire to their limits.
And Kinley, definitely the MVP of this game for me. Made a lot of good key defensive clears, trying to catch Empire kind of on that back foot in rotation, and Carved able to kind of return to form this game, taking some shots, taking some odd angles that forced Empire to just kind of play the ball back into him, and got a modicum of possession that game that they really haven't seen much against this Empire squad.
No, Empire have been very, very good, barring, I think that was game 5, 6. They're all starting to blend together now. We've seen so many where they played a ton of defense. It was that 2-0 on Neo Tokyo in favor of Empire. That was really the only game where Empire, I think, has not controlled the possession game completely. And Rain, they did well in that last one despite playing a good bit of defense and being outshot. So, moving into game number 8 now, Gilthanes. This is where Rain has a true test because Empire aren't going to play the exact same way as they did in game 7 where they weren't turning in all those offensive opportunities. It's going to have to be a switch up of pacing, I think, for the boys on the green side.
And you know what? I don't care about that at all, Bepic. I want to see Rain stay as aggressive as they were in that last game, generate some chances on transition, just like this as Carved gets the first one.
Well, aggression is actually what I was looking for out of them. Like that, quick transitions and moving forward with pace. They caught out Empire Esports and Mizu at that midfield line, and Carved made them pay. Another game where Rain strikes first, and that proved to be enough in the previous, them scoring first, and well, they scored 2 before Empire got on the board, but nonetheless, they were the first ones on the scoreboard, and see if that turns into another Rain win and forces a game 9 in this grand finals.
Brave tries to drop it back down inside. Carved all the way out as Mazo places to the sidewall. Mizu, Kinley, good read again, and Kinley has definitely stepped up his game in getting in some of these passing routes and some of these clearances that Empire has trying to be able to get from their defensive zone, starting to cause them some problems as this series has gone on. And Mizu to the sidewall, he drops it back down in open space. Carved misses it. Kinley right there again, making a great defensive stop. And the 1-0 lead still in possession for Rain.
Oh, Kinley camping that midfield boost, was hoping it would spawn. It did. Now Sato going to use their full boost tank to get up to that ball. Great read. A couple of Rain Esports players, not really going to net them anything in the way of offense, but will at least keep Empire out of the green side of the field, and that's always a win in my book, I'd say. The transition Rain can hit hard, just like their counterparts on the other end of the field, which is where we are headed. They're losing that challenge to Mazo, because it's Mizu moving in there, using all his boost to get a pinch forward. The green box, nothing doing though. The offenses can't find any threatening looks as players on the defensive side of things cutting out these chances right as they start.
Kinley, again, a good deflection to corner. Mazo, read by Sato, deflected out. Good little passing play that Crave reads. Carved back inside. What a shot far side, and what a save from Mizu as he has been a defensive dynamo all tonight for Empire.
Right back where we started. Huge defensive showing from Empire. It's only their second save in this game, but oh my word, it's an important one, because going down 2-0 in a game of this importance, I think, becomes a near impossible task to come back from, though Empire was close to doing it in the last game. That pinch going center, and it will be received by Mazo. They take a 50, that into the Rain corner. Taken away. That shot's on target. Mizu, though, another clutch save. Rain being held to just the one goal, but still hunting for insurance.
My, oh my, Empire
There it is.
dimes it down in front, and Kinley will bury it, but what a sequence of saves from Empire. But Rain Esports stands strong, stays aggressive, and it's paying off for him here in Game 8.
Did the Rain Esports players take a shot of G Fuel in between Game 8 and Game 7, or sorry, Game 7 and Game 6? Because they seem rejuvenated at the moment, coming out striking early, and now it's Empire. Maybe feeling the effects of fatigue as they've played a lot of games tonight. Starting to falter just a little bit. Still playing well defensively, but their offense has most certainly slowed down. Just 3 shots across 3.5 minutes of gameplay, and we need a bit more than that to come back from this 2-goal deficit.
And we're going to have to look to Crave to get that offense started. He's been the facilitator here tonight. He's had a lot of nice passes kind of down into the center of the field. And Mizu looks for the pinch on his own. Crave, the sidewall, over to Mazo. Tries to take the shot, but Sato, a long booming clear. Kinley trying to get the defensive stop, but Mizu has just not been able to miss tonight on defense.
If this comeback does happen for Empire, we got to point back to that, because if that shot finds the back of the net, it is just about over. Instead, Empire, with some life left to live in Game 8, that ball out to Mizu, the redirect, not going to come to fruition, however, and Rain will be able to waste more time off this clock and get us ever so much closer to a Grand Finals Game 9.
Mazo, big 50, and Kinley sets the length of the field, and with 30 seconds left, Rain Esports a 3-0 lead.
30 seconds. I can't believe that's how close we are to the Game 9. I didn't think we'd get this far. I thought Rain was looking far too hot on the night to let Empire into this series, but I should have expected this. Empire, definitely a hot commodity as well in this playoff bracket, both day 1 and day 2. And speaking of, there's, wow, not one for the road. Kinley, a huge save, and now we'll set up a chance for Sato and Carved. Maybe one for the road going the other way off that back wall, and a miss leads to a big save. Empire still making those clutch stops on the back line, Guild Thanes. They're going to need that and more as we get to Champions Field in the final game of MPL Season 1.
And man, Mazo is mad. That was going to be a clippable goal that they would have scored had Kinley not come up huge on the line. But again, a great game from Rain Esports, playing aggressive. Kinley, again, showing up on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. He's gotten some great touches. They're finally finding some of that open space in the sides of the field that Empire have not been able to take control of, and they've caught him in transition twice now in this game.
And that was the first game since Game 2, the first played game of this Grand Finals, where Rain Esports outshot Empire Esports. So not only have they made this comeback happen, they forced us to a Champions Field best of 1 to end the MPL, but they have really rejuvenated their offense. They have started to swing that battle for midfield control in their direction, and they are making Empire make saves. 2 players on Empire's side with Savior medals, and still 3 shots on the back of the net.
And Bepik, wasn't ever in doubt that you and me would end up in a Game 9 scenario on Champions Field. I don't.
Maybe a second.
We've been writing the script all tonight, and it just seemed like a fitting thing to throw in there. But we go to Champions Field. The winner of this game will be crowned your MPL champions for this season, and I can't think of a better 2 teams to be in the finals right now. Rain, who have been a playoff dynamo, the dark horse that have come up completing the Cinderella run, and Empire on the other end, that synergistic squad with these 3 veteran players. And I can't stress it enough, these guys have played their hearts out here, Bepik. They got one more game.
I'm excited. I know you're excited. The players, I'm sure, probably a bit nervous in addition to their excitement. I hope the fans are excited. All you Reign Esports fans and Empire Esports fans better be spamming your team's colors all throughout this final game because it's Reign Esports starting. No, it's off target. That was a golden look, Gilthanes. Reign still pushing for the opener. It's denied time after time. What a stand to start things off by Empire, and they are rewarded with the first goal of Game 9.
I cannot believe Crave just made that save on the backboard. Carved had all the net to shoot at. Crave came out of nowhere in the transition goal. A heartbreaker for some momentum here early. Empire, again, their defense standing strong. Mizu was taken out of that play completely. He was bumped out 4 times when he was in net. And Mazo trying to get this one back down the short side. Sato with a big save. We'll push it out. Looking for the air dribble. Stop as Crave plays it down to Kinley. Off the side wall, he'll take it to the air himself. Kinley with a little room. Tries to take it down off the backboard, and that one's swatted away by Crave.
Looking for some magic to get Reign tied up in this Game 9, but denied again by that Empire defense looking so good at the moment. A stark contrast to that last game where they gave up 3 and found none. On the other end, pass center. Mazo, the shot, bottom right, saved by Sato at the last second. 1 minute gone, and Empire pushing for a second goal. Reign gonna find a clear and find one fast.
Brave looking to dime one up. It's gonna fall down the boards to Mazo. He's trying to take his time, makes 2 men miss. Chance here for Empire. Mizu looks for that center far side, leaves it for Crave. Denied by Carve as he got into the air first. Mazo, that second man, oh so quick, dimes it down in front. Mizu, not enough boost to make the challenge happen.
That could have been a golden opportunity to score a second, but Empire controlling possession right now. They say, Reign, yeah, you won the last game to force this Champions Field matchup, but we are going to take the possession arrow and point it right back in our direction. And that midfield has been Empire's for the last, I would say, minute to a minute and a half. That's a strong clearance, though, from Sato. Maybe get a good look on that white net, but Mazo slows things down, gets his teammates back in position, and finds the clear to boot.
Great play by Mazo there. Recognized that he didn't want to put that one back right out in front. Slows it up. His teammates got those big boost pads, and then a clean breakout from the other end. Quick shot, Sato. A huge save. As Crave just going to let Mazo handle it on the wall. Feeds it back out in front. Kinley, long pass in transition. 1 man left. Sato denied as Mazo had spawned right in front of him.
Now we've reached the halfway point. Seconds just melting off of this clock as Game 9 flies by. Winner to be crowned the Melon Patch League Season 1 champion. Kinley wants it. So too does Sato as they both go for the same ball, trying to push it forward and find an equalizer for Reign, who has done such a good job of battling back in this series. They would hate to come up just short of the finish line. Kinley up in the air with boost, leaving it now for Carved. They'll stuff it through 2. Shooting chance for Sato. That was a shooting chance saved by Mazo.
Nice 50 along the board by Kinley. Tries to feed it back down in front. Now Sato across. He was looking for Carved, but Mazo will clear it out. Kinley, far side, Carved. Gonna challenge. He's got some space. Finds Kinley. The bullet on and in to tie the game up.
Golden look from Reign out to the side, right back into the center of the field. The Empire defense going left, then going right, and then getting caught out, having no one on that back line to make the save. Mazo, try as he might to dive across that white goal line, not nearly fast enough for the heat that shot had behind it, though Crave wants it back quickly. Empire usually do want that fast response. Mizu could deliver, shot just a bit too high.
Sato tries to force it back out, and that is the answer from Reign. Short range passes, trying to find him low instead of that backboard play, which they have tried to clear out and find some of that space downfield. Mazo to the backboard. Mizu. Backboard again. Sato back down around. Crave in the midfield. He'll slow it up with the air dribble. He's got some space in front of him and met by Carve. Mizu going to go to the backboard on his own, but Kinley this time will get a clean clear out.
Mazo, a little bit of a strong touch, but he'll make up for it with that 50 win, though it goes right to Sato. He'll pop it up, Crave out into the corner. Empire have enjoyed playing a lot of their defensive time in a non-lethal spot where quick shots can ring out for Reign. Speaking of, Sato That on target, actually, and now all three members of Empire a bit tangled up. Have to get back into position to defend against this. That's a miss on the back wall by Crave, leading to a Kinley shot on target and in, and Rain take the lead late.
And this is the Kinley show now. Patience again, and any kind of mistake he's starting to jump on. I talked about how he's starting to read into these passing lanes, and anytime that ball has been in a high percentage shot chance, he has been there to answer the bell. Great play as Rain take the lead. 40 seconds left. Mizu takes the shot, carved, able to get over in time. Crave right back around, and Kinley with the clear. Mazo, last man, he's demoed off. Chance here, 2v1. Kinley looking for the other demo. Carved off the sidewall, back down in front, and Mazo with the clear down. Kinley breaks it up again. Mizu, 21 seconds left. Mazo looking for the shot on Crave, back down around, keeps it alive. Mazu not going to turn, is Carved. Just trying to kill the clock. They know it's their fourth man. 10 seconds left. Carved, a shot on Kinley, the answer again. Sidewall. Looks for the clear again. Long shot, Carved. Back to it. Puts it on net. Mazo with the save. Mizu just going to wait. Centers it up. Mazo to the ceiling. Backboard. Waterfall. And he can't get the pre-flip. And Rain win it. And they will be your MPL champions.
Rain Esports cap off a Cinderella run with a grand finals victory in 9. Empire, try as they might, could not bring down the newly crowned MPL Season 1 champions. Rain Esports took down 3 of the 4 number 1 seeds in terms of winning their group, and they will take down Empire at the very end. Gilthanes, what a series we just witnessed.
And my, oh my, Kinley deserves a huge pat on the back. 3 defensive clears towards the last 30 seconds of that game. 2 goals in this Game 9 scenario. And Rain Esports reigns supreme here tonight.
It was so tense. Empire, though, could not get it done. Over that last hurdle, their offense shut down by the Rain defense, and that is the end of the first Melon Patch League presented by Prestige Esports. Wow, I'm at a loss for words, Gilthanes. What an incredible way to finish off what has been such a season that's gone by really too quickly.
And credit to all the teams that ended up playing throughout the regular season and the playoffs. Prestige and Melon Patch putting on a heck of a series for us tonight and throughout their regular season as well. So credit to all the admins, all of our producers in the back, just kind of making everything work. You guys definitely deserve your credit, and now a little bit of limelight we can shine on you here tonight.
And all the fans as well. Wouldn't be possible without all of you. All the Rain Esports crowns being spammed, and throughout the series, the Empire logo as well. Thank you all so much for watching the first season of the Melon Patch League presented by Prestige Esports and produced by Dire Media Solutions. Big thanks to everyone involved. The Sunderlad, of course, our producer. Gotta thank him. He does so much for us. Gilthanes, thank you for joining me in the booth for that incredible Losers Finals and Grand Finals. For now, though, I believe we are going to raid someone, so stick around for that. But us casters we gotta go to bed. It's way past our bedtime, Gilthanes. So we'll see you all later.
Let go and see what happens. Gotta let go to see the magic happen. They got this a quick change, so we like them in phase. I just bought a new watch, time to make my wrist ring. The zero gravity keeps elevating me.